Hello.
Hello.
Hello, 30-ish podcast listeners.
Hello. And viewers.
And IG Live viewers.
I mean, there's nobody here, but it's fine.
Here yet.
It's okay.
I was noticing last week that, that might have been confusing if people didn't know we were on Instagram Live, because they were like, why are you telling me to look at something on a podcast?
Well, I mean, we have said, oh, who's that? We have,
Hello, it's my friend from JWoo.
Oh, well, that's nice. Hello, fellow JWooer.
JWoo is where we went to college, guys.
Oh, if anybody.
Me and Shannon Taylor.
Why do you do that?
Shay, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I'm not allowed to say that word.
It's fine. Wow. Oh, look,
anyways,
friend saying what up.
Hi, welcome to 30-ish podcast, everyone.
This is delicious.
Oh yeah, let's talk about our drink, shall we?
It is. Why?
I'm
your
proud.
face seemed really close. I don't mean to be like super intimate. Like, yeah, this is my honey right here. It's fine. No big deal.
I was trying to squeeze your armpit, but I can't.
Yep, it's all good. Okay.
Well, anyway,
what are we drinking?
Drinks today. Mm-hmm. Calling this one a watermelon surprise.
I knew it. It's for so intuitive.
We knew.
With basic bitch terminology.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, perfect.
So basically what we did was we got rid of the rinds off the watermelon, blended that shit up with lime juice, some salt, some honey.
With our JWoo knife.
With our JWoo knife, Johnson & Wales.
Yeah.
Wow, we're just, thank
Killing
God
it.
we are
that was totally
ass
worth
up in fucking student loan debt.
I know,
but
that was
thank
so
you,
worth
JWoo, for the knife.
It was so good.
Anyway.
Mine doesn't have the measurements on it, though, so it's
No, mine's
not
legit.
as good.
Anyway, so we blended that shit up, then we added some vodka, and then some more
vodka.
lime juice, and of course, topped it with Topo Chico.
Yeah. Oh,
Cheers, bitch.
sorry. I'm not very good at this
And it tastes
video
like
thing.
a literal watermelon Jolly Rancher, and it's so good. Even if you don't put vodka in it, just the lime juice and the fucking watermelon.
Your sister's saying something about Courtney Taylor's or Tyler's.
Hello. Oh, this is my sister's shirt.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That I stole from her probably in 5th or 6th grade.
Perfect.
And I adopted it for myself, and it's her friend Courtney Terry's.
Do you mean stole it?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I just never gave
wanna
it
be clear.
back.
Okay.
I always just hid when I wore it. / she lived in California for the time when I stole it, so it was fine. But I still have it, Danielle. I still have it.
You're gonna rip it. Don't do it. It's from 1975.
Also reppin' Miss Shay from Texas.
It's true.
Yeah, so now that we got our drinks out of the way, how was your week?
I mean, it was fine. Same old shit, just different week.
Same old shit.
World's still bananas. I'm just waiting for the next
Yeah. You still
wave
wearing
of
your
plagues.
mask, or you
I mean, yeah, we are here.
Those are two shits to the wind. What is that saying?
That's two sheets to the wind, but it means if you're drunk.
sheets.
It's not if no. Okay. No, it's not two shits to the wind. But good try. Jesus.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Clearly.
Obviously I didn't know that saying, nor do I know most of them.
Yeah. It's all good.
Well, I went hiking yesterday, and I wanted to tell you a little funny story about my hiking.
I do like a jolly tale.
So we went
with
to
some nature.
It's pretty jolly. So we went to the Emmeline Lake Trail in Fort Collins. It's not in Fort Collins. It's like up by Pingree Park. It was like an hour and a half drive from here up the Pooter Canyon.
Oh.
Hashtag Pooter.
Never mind, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. I didn't go in the river, though. And I kept
good for you. You
trying
win.
to eye where Shay almost drowned and died. And like every bridge I passed, I was like, oh my God, I wonder if that's the bridge that Shay almost died by.
You didn't go up that far, but it was pretty close.
Every spot I went, I was like, I bet she got in there.
Yep.
There's white water everywhere.
Yeah, because I'm an idiot.
There
but
are
it's
also
fine.
a lot of fucking tubers that I was like, oh my God, they're gonna not be as safe as they want.
Yeah, but it's okay. So anyway, your trip.
Anyways,
yeah.
Went hiking. It was awesome. But it was, so we packed a little joint for the hike, right?
As you do. Nature with nature.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're smoking the joint on like half the way up
Hello, everybody.
up the mountain.
Your sister approved of that. Shit's in the wind, by the way.
Shit's in the wind.
Your sister's a dummy, but it's fine. I love her.
And so we're walking up the trail, we're smoking a joint, and then we saved like a little bit for like the end of the trail before we come back. So Chris like wraps in I had toilet paper in my backpack because I brought some because if I had to pee, I like to use biodegradable toilet paper.
Not
I'm
that poison ivy
freak.
dough.
I don't like those pine needles, you know? That's not comfy. So, so then after we smoked the joint, I had to go to the bathroom, so I used my toilet paper, whatever.
Like, I think you said it like that's what happens after you smoke a joint.
That's after, I mean, we were
like,
walking,
that's never
I was
happened
chugging
to me.
water.
Usually my face melts off, and then I have to pee hours and hours later.
Well,
dehydrated.
There was a little time. But anyways, I go to the bathroom.
Sorry.
Then we get to the end of the trail, and we're like, all right, let's smoke our joint. Go to get the joint. Don't find the joint. I wipe my ass with the joint. The joint was in the toilet paper wad that was in my backpack. Even though I told Chris to wrap it in the fucking kerchief that I had. I was like, just wrap it in that. But I just grabbed the first wad of toilet paper I found, and apparently the joint was in that wad, and it's buried in the Rocky Mountains.
Did you not smoke it?
No, we didn't.
Why would you?
I didn't go find it, and we didn't go smoke it.
Okay.
And that's my hiking story.
That's a great
that I wanted to
story.
share.
I'm sorry you wiped your vagine.
Don't wipe your ass with your joints.
Or your you wiped your ass. You didn't
well,
wipe
it was my vagine.
Yeah,
I just
your
peed.
vagine. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, either way, don't wipe it with that.
Welcome to 30-ish. I wiped my vagine. And no one's here. Just kidding.
No, your sister is. She's laughing at it.
Oh, good.
I love it. I love it. That's a great story. That is a waste of a joint.
I didn't find any bones this time.
Nope.
So I didn't have to report any bones to the sheriff that actually were elk bones.
Do you know that you probably threw that joint away, and somebody is gonna find it and go like, "What a jackass! They just left their fucking joint out here," and someone is gonna smoke your vagina joint.
If they dig it out of the ground and unwrap it, they can have it. It's their joint to smoke. Gross.
Like, it's a little fishy.
I also wanted to tell you that yesterday I watched the movie Twister because Chris randomly
for the first time.
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't know if we can do this podcast anymore together.
No, just randomly. I watched the movie Twister last night, and it's ridiculous. Just as ridiculous as you remember from 1997.
Oh no, it's real good. I'm actually probably going to watch it tonight.
You should.
It's god awful.
Bill Paxton is just a gem.
You got me, Joe. Standing right here, right in front of you.
We got cows.
That's the same cow.
I gotta go, Becky. We got cows.
Oh, it's so good.
That's my favorite
It's
line.
just classic, just shitty 90s, whatever. No disparaging.
And also, my favorite scene of that movie is when they're eating that fucking steak and eggs.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
Yes,
shout out.
Peace. Oh, Elizabeth, make us. Hello. She's a Jay Wooin' too. One of my friends from Jay Woo.
Oh, well, look at you, just Jay Woo and representing.
God, Johnson Wales University is just all over the place.
Maybe they all heard when we were using the same knife, and it was like, oh, it's like a sheet.
Maybe Johnson Wales will sponsor us.
That's so
hey,
silly.
We should go talk there. I'm just kidding. They'll be like, this is what not to do as a graduate.
Plus, okay, all that tuition that you owed, you're going to owe more now because you came in, wasted our time.
You disgraced us. You have to owe double. Okay, bye.
Anyway.
Well, should we get into the podcast?
We should get into the podcast.
It's late night again. It's not morning, obviously.
And it's not morning time. It's late time.
It's late time, which is hard for us to get through when it's nighttime.
We got to take our castor oil and, I got to groom my cat 45 times. I
gotta rub my bunions, and then we gotta go.
And apparently wipe your ass with 45 more joints, and it's all downhill.
No. Well,
it's all good.
Speaking of podcasting, what did you roll this week, Shay?
How is that speaking of podcasting?
I don't know. I'm just trying to
I enjoy the segue. I like it. I rolled crime. My favorite. So
that's Shay's favorite.
It is. If anybody couldn't tell that has listened to it, so.
And I rolled nostalgia pop culture again, so I'm going to be bringing us back.
In time?
In time.
Perfect.
I was going to try to think of something more clever, but in time seems to fit best. Because that's what we're going to do.
The literal. Okay, got it. Perfect.
All right, well, we're going to drink this. We're going to say bye to you on Instagram Live.
And I'll slur at you later.
We'll record.
Yep.
For now. Bye-bye. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks, guys.
I can never know how to end this.
Or it says end.
Are we on?
Always. We're just always on.
We are always on.
Dude, we are so on. It's just not even funny.
It's like we're not.
That doesn't make any sense.
Even off.
Exactly.
What?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Before I even begin, I'm gonna start you off with a song lyric, and let me think if you can, or let me see if you can guess what year I'm taking us back to. Okay.
Let's do it.
I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray, but when I woke up this morning, could have sworn it was Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. The sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere, trying to run from the destruction. You know, I didn't even care. Say 2000 party over. Oops, out of time. Dan, 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 dan. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's
1999.
boop, boop, ba-da-doo. Whoa, that was a very huge key change, but we're talking about 1999. But also, the beginning of that song was like, holy shit, that's very relevant to now.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's some Armageddon doomsday shit right there.
Well, we thought the world was going to end into 1999, didn't we?
That's true. It was only the beginning. It was just the cusp.
Right the year before Y2K.
What were you doing during Y2K?
I was 10, and I was probably watching Dick's fucking Rockin' New Year's Eve. Because I was in like, how old are you when you're 10?
How old are you when you're 10? Well,
how old are you when you're 10?
You take a 1 and a 0, and then you're just 10. Yeah.
Yes. What is that, 5th grade? 4th grade?
4th or 5th grade? I don't even know. I can't do math. But, yeah.
Not smarter than a 4th grader. Apparently, I never learned past that.
Clearly. Well, now I did. Apparently, when they changed math, like, apparently there's a better way to do it in your brain, but whatever. I can't figure it out. Anyway, I had never watched Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve until I think it was last year, and I don't know why.
You weren't missing out.
No,
so scripted and fake.
What were we doing? We were watching.
What else it would be, but
we were watching. No, we weren't watching. We had like this giant backyard, and we would just like my parents would throw fucking ragers.
The
back
ragers.
There. Yeah,
they partied like it was 1999 every year.
Partied like it was 1999 because we would have like we were out in the boons enough that we could like do fireworks in our backyard, like with big mortars. But it was people were just getting so fucking hammered at that point that they would put them. Like, they weren't paying attention, so you had like these fucking dads with like their big cigars, and they're putting in these mortars.
I thought you were gonna say mustaches. How your hands were on your face.
I know, that was weird. But they would put them upside down, and so they would light them. They didn't know everyone was drunk, and so all these kids would be around, and then you would hear it go. And then we would look up, and then nothing went up, and they were like, scatter! And then like the kids would run all in different directions, and it would like blow up on the yard. It was amazing. It was amazing how we survived.
Great time.
So that's what we were doing in 1999. We were daring fate and going like it doesn't even matter anyway because we're all gonna everything's gonna implode.
We're just all gonna go into our bunkers and just eat our toilet paper that we bought.
Did your parents? That wasn't until later on.
Yeah.
What did your parents do freak out with your computers and shit? No?
I think we got like a couple extra things at Costco, but other than that,
but you guys didn't turn it off or
no,
I
don't remember.
I think
either. We're all just like waiting, and then I was like, okay, bye.
Yep, and then
good night.
Nothing happened.
Go to bed.
Right,
you have school in the morning.
Did you? It was New Year's Day.
You're right. I didn't have school in the morning.
Okay.
I did go to Catholic school. It was pretty crazy.
So they're like,
anyway,
get back in here and learn about Jesus.
Get in and learn about the sacraments again.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
1999.
We're talking about 1999.
So let's take us back to a time when stamps were 33 cents. Billy Clinton was in the White House. Queen popped the record charts. No, just kidding. They didn't.
Gladys Lehman was Sorry.
That's from our favorite movie.
Gorgeous. Like anybody's like, yes, we all know Drop Dead Gorgeous. Okay.
And the average home price was about $154,000.
Shut the fuck up. But wait.
Okay.
That's my average school loan payment. And that's not
Every
true.
day.
But why are these goddamn millennials not buying homes?
Why are they buying avocado toast? Because we can only afford that, and it's indulgence.
It's our only luxury. We get sourdough when we want to splurge. What? But is that like the average income? You're probably like,
I don't know.
I didn't research that much into it, bitch. Like, the average.
It was just that.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know the average income. I didn't research that, but I'm sure anyone else.
No, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
That's right.
It is.
It's
Sorry.
right. So let's start off with some of the top news stories in 1999, and then we'll get into the more
Lighter subjects.
lighter stuff.
All right, that's fair.
So
Good
first
call.
we'll start off with January 7th, Mr. Bill Clinton was just starting his good old impeachment trial. Remember that fun time?
That's because he was guilty of having a lady in his lap.
Yeah, you can't lie about your dick getting sucked, especially when you're the president of the United States.
I mean,
and especially when you jizzed on her dress.
She was like, she just had some cauliflower for lunch. It was fine.
Oh, no.
It was a little runny. She might have had the food poisoning.
Gross.
That's why you heard her gagging in the office.
Oh my God. I was helping her, I promise. So, just a little...
Sexual assault is not funny. Just by the way, I'm not laughing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, she definitely... Anyway, what? So... First of all, let's talk about Monica Lewinsky, because I forgot these little details because I hadn't really thought about it since the Beyonce song came out about Monica Lewinsky doll on her gown, and then before that, it was probably when I was 10. So
and back then I didn't really have any. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Like, what's going on?
And
Bill Clinton?
Yeah, didn't really care or
sexual relations. So, I forgot that she was an intern at the time.
Right.
She was 22 and he was 49.
You could
Lewinsky admitted to having had sexual encounters with Bill Clinton on 9 occasions from November 1995 to March 1997.
It was 9 occasions?
9 different occasions, yes.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like 3.
I think it was a mutual agreement.
I mean, it might have been.
I think so.
It probably was.
So in April 1996, Lewinsky's superiors actually relocated her job. This was when she was an intern. She actually relocated her job to the Pentagon because they felt she was spending too much time around Bill Clinton. I didn't know that.
Mostly around his wiener.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lewinsky confided in a woman named Linda Tripp about her relationship with Clinton, which basically brought her to her demise, was that lady. That loose-lipped bitch.
Loose-lipped bitch. May she rest in peace.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Linda.
It's all... it happens.
And I guess Linda Tripp persuaded Lewinsky to save gifts from that Clinton had given her and to not dry clean the semen-stained blue dress in order to keep it as an insurance policy, quote-unquote. So Linda Tripp is responsible for her not washing her dress.
Do you know what the thing is about Linda Tripp, though? Like, I don't actually know a real photograph of her because the only reference I have in my brain is from the SNL skits that John Goodman would cross-dress, and it was some of the most hilarious shit I've ever seen.
That's who he is?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So I remember him doing that, and I don't know what she actually like. I feel like I've probably seen a picture or two.
Keep your secrets,
but I'm like Linda Tripp. I'm like, oh yeah, it's John Goodman in a wig. So yeah. Anyway.
I love the SNL skits when like Monica's on the phone with like Bill Clinton and Saddam Hussein. They're on like a 3-way call.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty funny.
Anyways, also, just a little fun fact, 4.5 million people tuned into her Barbara Walters interview on 2020.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Year.
I forgot about that too.
So, that's
because I saw that way after the fact, like it was like a 2020 special, and it was like, here's this archival footage from 1996 or 7 or whatever.
It was a scandalous
Yeah.
So moving on to another large news story of 1999. On February 4th, an unarmed West African immigrant named Amadou Diallo, I can't say his name, I'm sorry.
Okay. No worries.
He was shot to death by 4 New York City police officers who were apparently just in normal clothing at that time. They weren't on duty.
Fuck.
I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember that at all.
They said that they mistook him for a rape suspect from a year earlier, which was never actually confirmed by any objective evidence.
Pull out your gun without your uniform on and shoot him. Sure, that makes sense.
So the officers said this was the story. They made up this story, basically. So Diallo ran up the outside steps toward his apartment house doorway. At their approach, ignoring their orders to stop and show his hands, the porch light bulb was out and Diallo was backlit by the inside vestibule light, showing only a silhouette. Diallo then reached into his jacket and withdrew his wallet. Seeing a man holding a small square object, Carol, one of the officers, yelled "gun" to alert his colleagues. The officer opened fire on Diallo, claiming that they believed he was holding a gun. During the shooting, lead officer McMillan tripped backward off the front stairs, causing the other officers to believe he had been shot. That was the story that they told. However, a witness testified that they shot with no warning, and the 4 officers fired 41 shots with semi-automatic weapons, striking Diallo 19 times.
Hopefully that poor man died instantly, number one. And number two, that story sounds like, okay, so this is what we're going to tell mom when we go in there. You are like, it just sounds so fucking ridiculous.
It is. It's horrifying. And it's like,
so what happened to those police officers? My next question.
The investigation found no weapons on or near Diallo. What he had pulled out of his jacket pocket was a wallet. Yeah. The internal NYPD investigation ruled that the officers had acted within policy based on what a reasonable police officer would have done in same circumstances.
Well, then it's a shitty
policy. So
they
were literally wiped clean of the crime.
And that is the problem.
And that happened
right
February 4th, 1999.
And that's the problem right there.
And bringing it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
So that was another huge news story. Another one, if you remember this, was when John F. Kennedy Jr., his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, and her sister Lauren were lost at sea.
I do remember
when his
that.
plane was that he was piloting disappeared near Martha's Vineyard.
Yep.
So this was July 16th, 1999. They were in a single engine plane that Kennedy was piloting, and it crashed into the Atlantic Ocean. John F. Kennedy Jr.
Did they ever find the bodies?
I believe they did, yes, because so on July 16th...
I couldn't remember if they ever found them.
So on July 16th, 1999, with about 300 hours of flying experience, that's it, John F. Kennedy Jr. took off from Essex County Airport in New Jersey and flew his single-engine plane into a hazy, moonless night. He had turned down an offer by one of his flight instructors to accompany him, saying he wanted to do it alone. To reach his destination of Martha's Vineyard, he would have to fly 200 miles, and the final phase of this flight would have been over the dark, hazy ocean. And inexperienced pilots are known to lose sight of the horizon under such conditions. And with 300 hours of flying, he was a newbie.
Yep.
So Kennedy would have to depend on his instruments, but he had not qualified for a license to fly with instruments only.
Okay.
So in addition, he was recovering from a broken ankle, which might have affected his ability to pilot the plane. So at Martha's Vineyard, Kennedy was supposed to drop off his sister-in-law, and then they were supposed to go to the wedding of one of the youngest children of the late Robert F. Kennedy.
Right.
And so the Piper Saratoga aircraft never ended up making it to Martha's Vineyard, as we all know.
Right.
And radar data examined later showed that the plane plummeted from 2,200 feet to 1,100 feet in 14 seconds. A rate far beyond the aircraft's safe maximum.
It's my nightmare.
Kennedy's plane was reported missing by friends and family, and they looked for him for them for 2 days until they found, and like thousands of people were looking, and After 2 days of searching, thousands of people involved gave up hope of finding survivors and turned their efforts to recovering the wreckage of the aircraft and the bodies.
Right.
So, yeah.
But we don't know if they found them. I feel like they found them. They did. Yeah. So there's a rumor that goes around, like throwing it back to last week with rumors, that, well, it's a belief actually. Some people believe that JFK Jr. is alive and JFK is alive. And that JFK Jr. is being prepped and he will be back on July 20th or something like that. And he will be the new president.
Of this year?
Yes. People
Wait, what?
actually believe this, that JFK Jr. and JFK, and actually for whatever reason Elvis, are still alive.
And Tupac?
Yep, probably. I'm sure he's probably just
chilling in Thug's mansion, y'all.
He's just entertaining them. So but JFK Jr. is being groomed and is being, just prepped because he's going to be the new.
He's going to come back to life.
Mm-hmm. No, he's not dead. He never died.
So we're just going to know that he didn't ever die. It'll be like the Mandela effect. Mm-hmm. He's just going to be around.
Yep. And then they'll be like, no, we never recovered the bodies. You never recovered the bodies. He was always alive.
What? I guess we'll find out.
People believe
Y2K.
And then he's going to be the new president.
Just out of the blue.
Yep.
Because he's around.
He's going to be the new president.
I mean, I'd like that much better than the candidates we have now. I'd much rather
not
have
lying.
some guy from coming back from the dead.
Right? He's all young and strapping.
Except that he never died.
No, he never died.
He's just in the Bermuda Triangle.
He was frozen, and then he'll come back
with
as
Walt
a young
Disney.
man. Yes, exactly.
Got it. It makes so much sense.
Oh, you're so dense. You're so square, Brianna.
I know. Well, we're gonna bring it back down.
So hold your breath for that.
Bring it back down a notch.
Okay.
To my last news story of 1999.
Okay.
And this was on April 20th. But this is not a good 420 story.
Okay.
It's when students Eric Harris, 18, and Dylan Klebold, 17, stormed Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, killing a teacher, 12 students, and then themselves, and wounded more than 20 others.
Yeah.
So I found out some shit that I didn't realize about this story.
What?
So first of all, I mean, I knew this. The Columbine shooting was at the time the worst high school shooting in the U.S. history.
Right.
And was one of the first prompts of the national debate on gun control and school safety, as well as a major investigation of both of the 17 and 18-year-old gunmen. So at approximately 11:19 a.m., Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, dressed in trench coats, began shooting fellow students outside Columbine School, located in a suburb of South Denver, if you guys don't know where Littleton is. The pair then moved inside the school where they gunned down many of their victims in the library. Yeah. Investigators later learned that Harris and Klebold had arrived in separate cars at Columbine around 11:10 in that morning of the massacre. The two walked into the school cafeteria where they placed 2 duffel bags, each containing a 20-pound propane bomb set to explode at 11:17 a.m. I didn't know this.
I didn't know that.
The teens then went back outside to their cars to wait for the bombs to go off. When the bombs failed to detonate, Harris and Klebold began their shooting spree. I had no idea about the bombs.
I didn't know about that at all.
This was really on the history.
I wonder if they had were the bombs big enough that it was going to probably kill way more people?
Yes.
Oh.
They were planning to kill way more people
almost
than
the entire
12.
school.
Yeah, they were going to plan to kill hundreds.
The only thing I really remember is that stood out was that he was shooting people point blank and asking people their religion, and he was just shooting them no matter what they said, and then that there was one kid that got away because he told him to leave before they walked into the school. Yeah. So I wonder if that was after or before the bombs were planted.
Well, this was after because they didn't go. They were supposed to go off and they didn't, and that's when they went back in the school to shoot people.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This was their backup plan, I guess.
Damn. So that kid, the kid that they told to leave was actually fucking got lucky twice.
Yeah.
Shit.
So through journals left behind by both of the boy shooters, investigators eventually discovered that the teens had been planning this attack for a year, and they wanted to bomb the school similar to the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing. So yeah, they were planning on killing a lot more people than not that. I mean, still the amount of people they killed that day.
It's
but
not
they
degrading
were
what the kids that were killed, but just I had no idea that was a thing. I had no idea that they were planning on, I mean, I'm sure they were planning on killing way more with guns, but I had no idea there was bombs. That's insane. So thank God the bombs didn't go off.
Yeah. So investigative journalist Dave Cullen, who is the author of the 2009 book Columbine, described Harris as the callously brutal mastermind and described Klebold as a quivering depressive who journaled obsessively about love and attended the Columbine prom 3 days before opening fire.
Interesting.
He's just a little follower.
Which I do remember hearing that kind of narrative, was that kind one of them was a leader and the other one was a follower.
Remember that story of the two boys that like committed the first like fucking like kills? They like stole their little cousin or whatever and killed him in the car, and it was like Leopold and whatever.
I think it.
And it was like the same kind of thing. Like the one dude was like a crazy little mastermind. The other one was just like, okay,
I don't really want to do this. I just wanted to play tag, but okay.
But if you're my friend, it's fine.
I don't have any other friends, so oh god.
So that was
gotta stand up for yourself.
That
Jesus
was my last
Christ.
big news story of 1999.
Okay.
So let's move on, shall we, to
Moving
some
on.
more pop culture-y things.
Perfect. Let's go.
Let's first talk about some music, okay?
Oh, your favorite.
Let's talk about the top 10 songs of 1999, okay?
Okay.
Number 1, Believe by Cher.
Ooh.
Yeah, this part's going to be a little singy for sure.
Yeah.
Probably every song I'm going to have to sing a clip of, okay?
That's fair.
So enjoy.
Okay.
Yes, Believe
Good
by
old
Cher.
Cher.
Number 2,
Yes.
No Scrubs by TLC.
That was
A
a good
scrub
one.
is a guy.
He ain't got no love from me.
No, he don't. Number 3,
Hang out the passenger side. What's-
Angel of Mine by Monica. Angel of Mine.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that one. Are you writing all these down to put them on the
Yes, I have
30th
them all written
playlist?
down. Yeah.
Okay.
This was a great research for that.
Yeah.
This one I don't really remember very well, but Heartbreak Hotel by Whitney Houston featuring Faith L. Evans and Kelly Price.
I don't remember that
song very
one.
well.
Which
I'm
one is
sorry,
that one?
Whitney or Faith. Heartbreak
Probably
Hotel.
was, honestly, at that point, it's probably mostly Faith. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real.
Number 5, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Oh, the emergence, the birth of Britney.
Yes, but we'll talk more about Britney in a little bit. Okay, Number 6 was Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Kiss me beneath the milky twilight.
Oh, damn. That one was good,
from
too.
She's All That, which we might be talking about later, too.
Oh, I love
Number 7, Genie in a Motherfucking Bottle.
That was a good
Christina.
one, too.
There's a lots of good songs.
I thought that was like a little bit later 2000s. I'm not going to lie.
No, 1999.
Damn. Because
Baby
I thought it
One
was
More
all
Time actually came out in was released in 98.
Because I thought she
but
was
it was
around
on
the same
number
time.
5 on the charts.
Yeah, I thought that she was around the same time that like all the Spice Girls shit was happening. And Spice Girls, I think,
They're a little earlier.
although Spice Girls is 96.
They're earlier.
Yeah, never mind.
They're earlier.
Sorry. Jesus.
Spice Girls are original.
They were 95, 96.
They are literally the number 1 OG.
They really were.
They're the best.
They were the
forever.
best.
Let's not forget about number 8, Every Morning by Sugar Ray. Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed.
Didn't know what that was until I was way too old
I
to
was
not
like,
know what that was.
mean?
Yeah, I'm like, what is it? Does it mean that he's a devil? Because he's silly and he's a freaking minx.
Yes, he's a slut.
She's a slut, I think is what he was trying to say.
Number 9, no, he was.
No, she said, of my girlfriend's four boys. Oh,
I
I
know.
got it. Okay.
I'm just,
Move
they're
on.
all a bunch of sluts.
I fucked it up.
Just
move on.
Anyways, Nobody's Supposed to Be Here by Deborah Cox, which I didn't really know that one very well either. But once I started listening to it, I was like, oh, I remember this song.
Which one?
And now I can't think of how it goes.
Okay, it's fine.
I
Just move
listened
on.
to it on Spotify earlier.
Okay.
Hashtag Spotify. And number 10 was Livin' the Motherfucking Vida Loca.
Fucking Ricky Martin.
Ricky Martin.
Before, when he was straight. Poor man.
It's fine. He
Dude,
he was living the Vida Loca.
He was living the crazy life.
Crazier than we thought.
He was.
If you know what I mean. What?
Sure.
Okay, so those were the top 10 songs, but here's some other songs that I really wanted to tear at your heartstrings
Ooh,
that were
okay.
debuted in 1999. Okay, ready for this?
I'm ready.
Steal My Sunshine by Len.
Ooh, I like that one.
I know it's up to me if you steal my sunshine.
Why are you singing it like that?
Isn't the voice kind of weird in that
It's
song?
not like a
If you
gremlin.
steal my sunshine, bah, 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 bah.
I mean, it was a really weird thing, but it wasn't like a demonic.
Sorry, I got a little out of...
You went like the other direction, which was hilarious because like your arms were just like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Steal my sunshine.
It was just a very weird.
Won't you steal my sunshine?
But I do remember that because it was like very like ooh.
It was like roller skate. Weren't they like roller skating in a parking lot?
I think so.
And it was like kind of weird.
It had that kind of
colors.
feel. Okay.
Or you just wanted to roller skate in a parking lot
Yeah.
while listening to that. Next one, Where My Girls At, 702. Where my girls at, from the front to back, so if you're feeling that.
Oh yeah, I remember
That was the wrong key. God damn it, I need to get my key right.
But I knew what you were talking about.
Where my girls at, from the front to back, and if you're feeling that.
Jesus, your
That's-
keys are awesome.
Definitely not it.
Are you gonna be? Was vitamin C in
Where my
1999?
girls at?
I don't know when vitamin C.
So no, not.
I didn't
That
find
didn't make
her.
one.
Are you ready for this next one?
Oh, I'm ready.
Amazed by Lone Star. That was going to be my wedding song 1000%.
Why is
1999.
it not still gonna be?
I mean, it still is. Sorry.
Amazed.
Baby, I'm amazed by you.
Oh.
Na 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 na.
I
Don't know why you do what you do. Pow. I'm so in love with you. You know that one?
you were feeling it on that one.
Just keeps getting better.
I thought you were gonna like take like the earphone, like put it off on like one side, like the professionals
And
do,
just, like, plug
and
my
then be like,
ear.
oh god, yeah, feeling it. Like
I was grasping
you
the
were
mic.
like grasping it. And I was like, oh, you were like making love to the mic right there.
I was amazed by it.
Yeah,
The
I
mic.
forgot about that song.
So good.
That is so
I
cliche
loved
for
that
wedding
song.
songs. I love it.
Yeah, 10 years old. I was probably going to either marry, let's see, who was I going to marry? George Clooney, Jaleel White, or
George Clooney was a good
someone
choice.
else.
George Clooney was a nice choice.
Probably
1999?
probably Paul Walker, let's be honest. I mean
let's
yeah,
be
we'll get
real.
into that in a second. Next song on my 99 list, motherfucking Macy Gray. I Try came out this year.
Oh, I forgot about
I
that.
try to see.
That's like I close
That's
my
not it.
eyes and I'm there. I never was a Macy Gray fan.
When will they go from here? When will they stop?
Was that good? That's pretty good. I love that song.
You sound like you smoked like 1,000 cartons
Well,
of cigarettes a
Maybe
day.
I did.
Okay.
All right, next one.
Okay.
The precious lyrics of Nookie by Limp Bizkit.
Ooh.
I did it all for the Nookie, so you
Oh,
can take that cookie
cookie.
and stick it up your yeah.
Stick it up your
Yeah. Stick it up your.
yeah. I did it
So
all for the
beautiful.
Nookie. Yeah, he was very
There's
poetic.
some really beautiful lyrics in that song. I read them all today, and
I could still see, like, in my mind's eye, the CD cover that was on there was like a cartoon. Mm-hmm. It's a little shoe. Yeah.
yeah, Limp Bizkit.
Good old Limp Bizkit.
Next up,
Sometimes
same
I would get them confused, though, sometimes. Like Limp Bizkit and, what was it called?
Korn.
God, no. I did not listen to Korn, actually. That was the one I did not listen to Korn.
POD.
I was a piece of shit. Like, I was like a, not piece of shit, but
Piece
I
of
was an emo kid for sure, but I
dump.
did not listen to Korn. What was the one? I
Offspring.
try so hard. What is the?
Then got so far.
Who is that?
Linkin Park.
But in the end,
Linkin Park.
it doesn't even.
See,
Rest in peace, Chaz.
right? I can't remember who it was. I think it was something
That guy
like that.
committed suicide a
Forgot
couple
about
years
that.
ago.
It was super sad. But yeah, I would get them mixed up. Anyway, go on. Next up.
Next up, Say My Name, Destiny's Child. Do we need to say more? Say my name.
No, we don't need to see.
30-ish.
No, we don't need to see it anymore.
Get it? Say my name. 30-ish
it.
podcast.
Thank you.
Next up,
If you had my love and I gave you all my trust, would
Yeah.
you comfort
J-Lo.
me? Na 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 na.
that's.
J-Lo riding
Na, na,
off the
na.
back of her Selena movie.
Oh, but she wasn't J-Lo then. She was Jennifer
yeah,
Lopez
she was.
still
She,
in
no,
1999.
she was Jenny from the block.
She was Jennifer Lopez.
She was Jenny from the motherfucking block.
She was.
Yeah.
Next up, Smooth by Santana featuring Matchbox or Rob Thomas, not the whole band, just Rob.
Just Robert.
'Cause you're so smooth.
You just look like you need to take
And
a giant
it's just
shit.
like the ocean under the moon.
God, I just never liked Santana either. I never
Wait,
liked
you
that
never
song.
liked Santana, like even his old stuff?
No.
Like OG Santana?
No.
You didn't even like Maria, Maria.
Okay, I like that one.
She remind me of the West Side Story.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Damn
Did
it.
you like my...
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was. You guys can't see though.
No.
So shut up.
It's fine.
Okay, next up, Heartbreaker by Mariah Carey.
Heartbreaker, you got the best of me.
Okay. Maybe only...
Did I sound
That's
like
exactly... Boof.
that? All right, ready for this? All-Star Smash Mouth. Fucking losers.
Do you hear the bread being thrown?
Fucking throw the bread at
Throw the
them.
bread so they
Those
throw fits.
gluten-frees.
How
Next up,
dare you, sir?
Next up, Forgot About Dre by Dr. Dre came out in 99.
Which one is that one?
Oh my God, don't make me do this.
Okay.
Are
you having a stroke?
Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when you move the lips. It's a bunch of gibberish. Motherfuckers that with the coconut Drake.
Stop, Shay.
I literally had to gibberish say that before I actually said it. Did you see that? I literally couldn't think of the lyrics before I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that was actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I didn't register you say Eminem. I'm dumb. Okay.
Well, it's by Dr. Dre, but Eminem sings the chorus.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you remember this song, but Vibrant Thing by Q-Tip. Vibrant thing, you vibrant thing.
I don't think I remember that one.
It's really good. It's a good fucking...
It's a good
It's a
one.
bop.
It's a kid.
Do you remember this song? The Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang.
Oh, I remember
You and
that.
me,
Yep.
baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
1999, guys.
That was
so
like
scandalous.
everyone's like middle school dance. Like everyone's like doing it, and, like watching the principal. Like, yeah, it's about humping.
Yeah. And it came off their album called Hooray for Boobies.
That's right. No, it was that song and Meredith Brooks' Bitch.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was
so
like,
scandalous.
we would be like, bitch. And we'd like look at our fucking principal and like, I'm just like, God, we're so stupid.
I also do want to make a middle school playlist.
We should.
Like middle
It
school
would be
dance
amazing.
playlist.
I like it.
That's,
Where you just
I'm just going to make so many playlists.
like you sway from side to side.
But the ultimate 30s playlist is literally going to be like hip hop, country, pop.
Hell yeah.
Fucking like everything. It's going to be the hodgepodge of the 90s.
I like it. The hot mess of the 90s.
Anyways, moving forward.
Okay.
Angel by Sarah McLachlan. Wait, and I Will Remember You also.
It's the
came out this
same.
year.
They have like the same tone.
In the arms
Yeah.
of
Either way, you're like, oh yeah. It's we just listened to that and we watch like sad dogs in kennels now.
Yes, seriously.
True story.
Next up, Save Tonight by Eagle Eye Cherry.
Save tonight. Fight the break of dawn.
I remember that one. That was a good one.
What It's Like, Everlast. You remember that?
Everlast.
God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in her shoes. Then you really might know what it's like
Oh,
to
yeah.
have to live.
Dude, I do remember that.
Then you really might know
It
what
played
it's
in
like.
every single fucking coffee house, and I wanted to blow my brains out.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's obnoxious.
That Don't Impress Me Much by Shania came out.
Impress me much.
The Hardest Thing by 98 Degrees.
Remember that
Summer
one?
Girls by... Wait, you don't remember 98 Degrees?
I remember that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember that one. Don't worry.
Summer Girls by LFO.
I like girls who wear Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh,
Take
yes.
it If I had one wish, the girls didn't buy for the summer, for the summer.
I forgot about that.
They were so cool.
Man, 90s music was such a hodgepodge of just random
Random.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, ready for this? What's My Age Again? Blink-182 came out
Oh,
in
yeah.
99.
Oh, yeah. That was like when I was like feeling my groove.
Going out, it was a Friday night, I walk alone to get the
This is
feeling
being at every
right.
single
We
concert.
started make it out, and she took off my pants, and then I turned on the TV. And that's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. Then I like saying, da-da-da.
Yep.
Don't hit your head.
Dude, I was like feeling it. I was like back in my freaking like little mosh pit.
Oh,
That wasn't 99.
I'm complicated. Yeah.
Gotta keep them separated.
Yep.
Anyways,
Nice remix.
I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. Do you remember that one?
I remember Savage Garden. Which one?
I knew I loved you before
Yes.
I met you.
Oh God.
I thought of you into
Fuck, the boy bands were so crushing it this year.
Chicka-cherry-cola.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's not forget Back at One by Brian McKnight. And I start back at one. You're like a dream come true.
Oh, yes.
2, just wanna be with you. 3, girl, it's plain to see that you're the only. I loved that. That was another
Damn.
wedding song.
That's a. That you were like, I'm gonna
Like,
get
this
my
is my
veil ready. Yeah.
I'm ready. 10 years old. George Clooney, get over here.
I'm in my prime.
Also, Dimelo, Mark Anthony. Give me what you're feeling, cause I need. Like his
Yes.
fucking
know.
hit.
Yeah.
And then Tell Me It's Real by Casey and JoJo. Tell me it's real, the feeling that we feel.
Oh fuck! I forgot
Tell
that song.
me that it's real. Don't let that just pass us by. Try. That's all we have to do.
Man, you were feeling it
It's
this
up
week.
to me and you to make this special love last forevermore. Okay, next up, let's talk about a couple of the albums.
That was a nice little section you had there. That was nice.
Thanks, Jay. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed it.
I did
I
enjoy
hope
it.
all you listeners enjoyed it
did.
too.
They were
And I
like-
didn't scare you while you're driving.
Yeah.
In your cars or while you're putting your children to bed, which hopefully you're not listening to this because, I mean, if you do, just let us know. That's pretty sweet.
Well,
anyway,
don't worry. Like later on, we're gonna do a little video segment where we're gonna read children's books.
we might start
So
doing
just
a
do that.
30th Reading Rainbow. But
Yes.
anyway,
Oh, we'll do that.
moving forward. So let's talk about a couple albums that really fucking some of the best albums in '99. First one, Dixie Chicks Fly.
Oh shit, that was a good one.
Featuring Ready to Run and Cowboy Take Me Away. You know that one?
Wasn't
Did
there?
you like the Dixie Chicks?
I wasn't a big fan. But wasn't this like the album where they were trying to like bridge that pop country?
They're kind of twangy.
They're twangy, but they were poppy.
Yeah,
So
I think so. This is when they first got on the map of
Right.
of normal, not just country. I feel
Right.
like. Also, there was two of my favorite songs on that album. Was called the Sin Wagon,
Sin Wagon.
which was basically a square dance on acid. It was like the fastest fiddling, but it was like super fun. It was like blah, 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 sing. It was like it's crazy.
I'm gonna listen
It's
to
super
that.
fun. And then let's not forget about the song Goodbye Earl. Have you ever heard that
No,
song?
I've heard that one. That's the only one. I was like, I think that was
That's
on
the best
Fly.
one.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know about the song
He had to
Goodbye
die.
Earl, it's about a woman killing her dirtbag abusive husband and gets away with it, and she poisons his black-eyed peas, and that's
Yeah.
how she kills him, and that's what the song's about.
Which still kinda
Goodbye Earl.
reinforces the stereotype where you'll see like those memes of, women that sing about like in country music are just like about killing their husbands or killing their boyfriends, and guys are like, I like my dog and my beer.
I know.
Yeah, so
I know, and the girls are always like, I'm gonna
fucking kill him.
I'ma dug my key into the side. I'ma dug my key into the side.
Into the
Okay.
side of his skull.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So next up on the albums was the actual best-selling album of 1999. Do you have any guesses?
Of 1999. That's tough. Okay, it might be
It wasn't a debut album.
a Backstreet Boy album. Millennium.
It exactly was.
Was it Millennium?
It was Millennium from the Backstreet
Boom!
Boys. Good job,
How's
Shay.
that? Because I had it and I went to that fucking tour.
Oh, you
That's why.
dirty bitch.
It was the one that they were partnered with Cisco.
I
and
had
he
that-
sung the thong song.
Oh my God. You saw Cisco in concert?
Yeah.
Oh.
He sang the one song and that was about it. The thong song.
He didn't. What was that other song he had? He had
I don't
like
remember.
one more.
He might have sung like 5 songs because he
Did you
was the
see his
opener.
dragon tattoo? Did it move by itself like in the music video?
I know it didn't. Sadly and weirdly.
Fuck! Did he have bleached hair?
He did actually, and he was like just running around with his
Good.
shirt off. So
Good. Of course he
Yeah.
is. Anyways, so Millennium.
Millennium.
It was
Yeah.
actually their third album.
Yeah, because they had just the
I was an
Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC girl.
Nope, I was not an NSYNC girl. I was a Backstreet Boy girl. So they had Backstreet Boys. No, that wasn't their third album.
This was their third album.
Then what was Black and Blue? Black and Blue was their fourth or their second?
Maybe that was their second.
Yeah.
Maybe
because they were Backstreet Back All Right. That was their. I'm pretty sure that was their second album because I'm pretty sure that they debuted in '97, but I could be wrong.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe this is my only wrong.
Test me.
They told me it was their third album.
It could be their third album. I could be lying to you.
It was nominated for 5 Grammys. It had 4 of the top 40 singles. I Want It That Way. Larger Than Life. Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely. I'm sorry, 3 songs. And then, yeah. So, this became one of their most successful and remembered albums of all time, with their most popular song, I Want It That Way, is their most popular song. Am I wrong? Is it their third album?
Nope, you're right.
Yes!
It's because
I am a correct researcher.
They're a fucking weird, which I kind of, so they had, their first album was Backstreet Boys, and their second album was Backstreet's Back. And but it was like, because it was international, so it really technically was like, with new shit.
I'm talking about the world.
Fine,
I don't
whatever.
exclude the world.
Fine, whatever.
We're talking the world.
Whatever. I went to their concert, so whatever. It doesn't
You're
matter.
really lucky. I'm really jealous.
You shouldn't be.
Also, who was your favorite?
Ooh, that was tough.
I liked Brian.
I mean, everyone loved Brian because he was just like.
Everyone loved Nick, and I was like, ew, he's stupid.
I
didn't like weird hair.
No, I actually
and he's too girly sounding.
No, I actually really like Brian, but I also weirdly like AJ for some
I
fucking bizarre.
loved AJ.
I don't know why I
Brian
liked him.
AJ.
Like he was just like this. He was the epitome of a '90s boy with like his fucking square glasses and his like
so
black hair parted down the middle. I was like, dude, he's a rebel in the group.
Because he was bad, but he wasn't.
Right? He has like 3 lines. He's like Posh Spice. He like just stands on the background and sways.
Yes. My sister really liked Kevin, and I always made fun of her because he wore a skirt. Sorry, Kevin. You can wear skirts if you want.
Did he wear a skirt?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then I always was like, Howie's got to be gay, but he never was.
No. I
always knew Lance was, though.
It was Lance. Lance was gay.
I always knew, even though I don't even think
Good
I
old
knew what
Lance
that meant.
Bass. Because everyone had crushes on Lance, too, because he was pretty.
I didn't. I was a JC girl, not a Justin Timberlake girl. JC.
Really?
JC was my boy because he was so much more manlier and his voice was deeper and he didn't have weird ramen hair and he didn't have weird bleached hair. He was all natural. He had some muscles.
JT
he wore some weird
made some weird
life
choices
jacket
for
sometimes.
a minute, for sure.
Yeah, he was
but then
hot.
who had the last laugh? Jessica Biel.
Yes, she did.
Anyway, go on.
Who had the last laugh? That bitch he cheated on his movie set. Just kidding. They didn't cheat. They never did. She just posted something really sweet about Justin Timberlake for Father's Day, and
he's the best dad. When we were doing it, like he didn't even like
he
checked on the bassinet, and it was great.
I wonder if he sings while they're making love.
I feel like that would be weird. Like,
That would be.
is it good for you? Like
He's just like, I'm bringing sexy back.
And
Yep.
Jessica's like,
She's like, stop it.
stop
Please
doing that.
Stop.
Please, like she's crying. Please stop now.
Put your filthy hands up. You don't have to ask me it that way every time, Justin. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, but can you put your filthy hands? She's like, fine, whatever. Just let's speed this along.
I be on my suit and tie shit. Shut up, Justin.
And she's just like sitting on the bed, just like cross-armed, just like super grumpy.
Can you get it over with?
Right? Like, ugh, I'm so ready for
Actually, she would never sing.
No, I don't think she
Anyways,
did.
moving on to the next
move
album.
on.
Missy Elliott, The Real World, came out this year.
I do remember Missy
Featured
Elliott.
Aaliyah, Eminem, Lil Kim, Da Brat. Also, for her promo video, Marilyn Manson's tailor designed her outfit.
Was
if
it
you
full
remember
of
it,
puppy
it was
skins?
very strange. She I guess she was wearing like a spiked like thong but also wearing like a cat suit, and her head was shaved and spray painted black.
What?
And then there were some other weird things going on.
I don't remember that.
Very Marilyn Manson-y.
But that I do remember now. That's coming screaming back at me. Was one of his album covers, and he was like naked, but like it was like a thing that was
With his
covering
ribs removed.
Yes, but like his shit was covered, but it was like a smooth area, like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like
Yes.
it was, but it looked like it was a photograph, but obviously it was photoshopped. But like it was just it made
Maybe he just removed his whole dick.
yeah, he just,
Not
it
his
just
ribs at
gave
all.
me the
And
chills.
just sucks it on his bedstand.
What? Jesus Christ.
Because we talked about how he removed his ribs to do that.
I understand
But
that,
maybe
like,
he just removed his dick
sucked
and then
it
he
on
just
the
keeps it on his
bedstand?
bedstand.
He's
And
like,
then
that's where
just
that
well,
shit goes.
This is easier than removing my ribs. Please delete that. Holy shit.
Rose McGowan's like,
Let's talk about Missy Elliott again because she's nice. This album had the song Hot Boy and
Okay.
She's a Bitch. She's a bitch. You know that song? I don't know the words, obviously.
I also didn't listen to a lot of Missy Elliott either. I'm not gonna lie. That was
I
like
was more
really,
of a later Missy fan.
that was me getting into
I-
like my Blink 182 like
Your emo.
quote unquote emo music where I was super complicated. So
Yeah, you can, like, dance.
I kind of like
You can shake your
ditched
booty.
kind of the more pop. No, that's not pop, but like R&B and like rap and that kind of stuff. I kind of ditched that and went the other direction.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I couldn't do it all.
Also, there's a song on this album featuring Beyonce, which I never knew existed. It's called Crazy Feelings. And
Really?
it's like young 1999 Beyonce. Like Say My Name Beyonce.
Was it amazing?
Featuring Missy Elliott, or featuring her on Missy Elliott's album. It was pretty good.
She was pretty good.
But I just had never heard of it.
No, I've never
next
heard
up, TLC's Fan Mail album came out
remember
this
that.
year, featuring, like we talked about, No Scrubs and Unpretty. This was their third album.
I remember Unpretty, that music video was like fucking groundbreaking because it was the one like where you would watching like the boobs slip out of the fucking chest cavity and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That was a
but
really
it was
weird.
like
But I was like, that was
opening.
fucking powerful though.
It
Yeah.
was. And then I really liked how this woman from the Rolling Stone described the album, so I wanted to share it. It describes it perfectly and it sets the stage for someone from 1999 describing this album this way, I feel like.
Oh.
Equal parts steely bitch and sweet sister, super freak and misty romantic, self-centered coffee achiever and spiritualized earth mama. What? That is the description of Fan Mail from
What?
a woman from the Rolling Stone.
Jesus Christ.
Hashtag 1999.
Hashtag that weed was laced before I did this assignment.
That cocaine was a hell of a drug.
Hashtag I misunderstood the assignment.
So next up are the debut albums for Christina and Britney Spears, were both released in 1999.
Ooh.
Baby One More Time was released in 1998, but the actual album was released on January 4th of 1999. Sorry,
Boom.
January 12th, okay? Also,
Ignorant.
I thought this was a little fun fact I thought I'd share with you. The group TLC was actually first offered the song Hit Me Baby One More Time, but it was
Interesting.
later accepted by Britney. So TLC's T-Boz Watkins explained to MTV News that the trio passed on the song as they didn't feel it represented the band appropriately, which
Good
thank
for
the
them.
Lord.
Good for them.
Could you even picture them singing that song?
No, they're just like, what are we doing, ladies?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
listen to what they said. Or T-Boz says, I was like, I like the song, but do I think it's a hit? Do I think it's TLC? I'm not saying hit me, baby.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Britney, she added. It's good for her, but was I going to say hit me, baby, one more time? Hell no.
Yeah.
And then also I also found a little fun fact about the wardrobe on Britney Spears' music video for Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
And apparently everything in that music video for the outfits was bought at Kmart.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Little fun fact.
Okay, Kmart. You had your moment and you
Also-
peaked and then you went downhill.
Yeah, and now she needs some extra help.
Yep, and they don't exist really.
At least she has a
anymore.
hot trainer boyfriend that
That's true.
just encourages her to be really
Yep.
crazy on pills.
Yep.
Anyways,
Poor baby.
also, do you remember the rumor that if you rewind Hit Me Baby One More Time, it says or what does it say? Sleep with me. I'm not too young.
Something like that. I remember hearing that horrible rumor, which I'm just like, why was that even a thing when we could actually do it? And we're just like, that's not true. Like, I don't even understand.
Also, remember Josie and the Pussycats? How there was like that whole movie was about subliminal messaging in music.
I do.
Loved that movie.
I only watched it one time, and I don't think I really ingested it.
I wanted that to be my life, so
Josie and the Pussycats?
I was gonna be Josie.
Of course you were.
I was. I got my hair cut like her, and it did not look the same at all, and I looked like a freak.
Nobody wanted to be the
in
Pussycats.
7th grade. No.
And which really, in all
been,
honesty, it was just Dana. Or not Dana.
It was Tara Reid.
It was,
fucking,
what's her face? It was,
I would have been Rosario Dawson for sure.
It was.
Not Tara Reid.
No,
She's a dummy.
It was,
Rachel Lee Cook?
who was Daphne? It was just Daphne and cat ears. But I'm talking about the cartoon, not really the movie.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the 2000 movie.
I'm an old soul.
I'm not talking about the cartoon. You're more legit.
Whatever. All right.
I was talking about... Anyway. All right, now let's talk about a couple toys.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
The top 5 toys of 1999.
Okay.
Number 1.
Give it to me.
Pokemon cards.
Ooh, that was a good one. I never played them because it was like a bunch of nerds that always were at the lunch tables with their binders.
Yeah, dude.
Binders.
I just like Jigglypuff. That's all I know.
I just like the cute ones that look like little dogs or dragons.
Yeah, like the one that looked like a little like mullet horse.
Yeah, it was super cute. I don't know what it's called.
You know what I'm talking about? She had like really wavy hair.
Yeah, it was like on
horse.
fire, and it was yeah. I don't know what it's called. Probably like Flame Pony or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Flame Pony.
I'm sure.
Number 2 toy. Fucking Furby.
Fuck that shit. Really? 1999?
Yeah.
God.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I thought at that point it was kind of going downhill at that point, but I guess
Apparently
not.
No. Number 3, WWF wrestlers that you could like shoot at each other on the little square.
The square.
It was like they were like little action figures, and you could like fucking plunge them at each other with this little clicker on the back of their backs.
I thought it was.
There's a little boxing ring.
I thought it was the. What is it like?
The stretchy ones.
Yeah, the Armstrong.
No, I think that
Stretch
was earlier.
Armstrong. That's Stretch Armstrong.
No,
I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
There was a Hulk Hogan stretchy one. My cousins had that one.
Yes, there was that one.
Also, number 4 was the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire game, because we'll talk about this later, but it came out this year.
I forget about that too.
And number 5 was alien eggs, which I forgot about, but they were like
eggs.
They looked like they were in little silly putty eggs, but then they were like aliens in this weird like slime shit, like Independence Day style slime that you like break it open and you have a little alien in your egg.
Little alien babies.
1999, you know, we were trying to hatch aliens so we could survive Y2K.
It's true.
Or something.
Something like that.
Also, just a side note, fingerboards were pretty cool in 1999. I think they made their peak. The little like tech decks.
Oh yeah, the little tech decks. Okay.
That was for Chris.
I
Not
didn't
that
have
he even
brothers,
listens to this,
so I don't
but
know.
Chris recently found his tech decks, and we were playing with them.
Yeah, my cousin Jonah is like he had a bunch of those, and he is. I mean, he's younger, obviously, than us. I mean, he's like 22, 23, but he's like, he found like a big box of his tech decks and he like played with them for hours. I'm just like, are you 4? Like, yeah. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
All right, moving on to the shows that debuted in 1999.
Okay, 1999.
This is going to blow your mind a little bit, I think.
Maybe. Let's see.
Number 1, well, not like this is in order or anything, but
okay.
The first one I wrote was Family Guy. 1999.
It was 1999.
Mm-hmm. Futurama was 1999.
Yeah, it was.
I
forgot that.
The Sopranos was 1999.
And I never watched that show.
Still
never
never
watched it. But it was like fucking.
That was like the number 1 show for.
It was for a long time, and that was like before, like again, obviously before like streaming and shit. So
yeah, it was like the thing. If you could,
it was
like before Game of Thrones.
It was before like HBO like had a fucking name for themselves with like television shows.
Like porn.
Yeah, it was like here's some late night porn, and like you can watch like what was it Taxi Cab Confessional?
Yes,
and it was just like these fucking just wackadoos like got inside these like it was just a camera behind it. And it was, there was like just full blown sex happening in these back seats.
Oh my God. I never watched that. We didn't have HBO.
Shit. Like I watched.
My parents blocked Nickelodeon, so I'm pretty sure I didn't watch Taxi Cab Confessions.
This was after like I was out of the house and we just had I don't know why we were watching it. We're like, is this really like a thing? And that's HBO really was. It's like HBO late night, and you could click on a bunch of like fucking like porn shit, and you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? So
I remember one time we were at a hotel room, and I was young, and we were flipping through the channels. It was super late, and some porn came on, and I think I screamed and ran into the bathroom because I didn't know what was happening. I was 15. No, I'm just kidding.
they were hugging really closely.
They were hugging and making really weird noises.
They were going up and down like on a seesaw, but there wasn't any seesaw.
Exactly. And they looked like they were in pain, but not.
But they were seemed like they were having a good time.
They were wrestling with their shirts off.
It's
Anyways, next show that debuted, Freaks and Fucking Geeks.
oh
Judd Apatow and all the little fucking Seth Rogans and the James Francos and the Fred Segals.
I forgot about Freaks and Geeks.
And the girl from Boy Meets World that fucking broke up Topanga and Corey was also in that goddamn show.
She's a whore.
That's in...
Just joking.
What is she in now? While You're Dead... You're Dead to Me or something?
Dead to Me.
There's like a show that's really popular on Netflix that she's in. From Freaks and Geeks, and she broke up Topanga and Corey. That
Was
bitch,
she in
Lauren.
Dead to Me? Was she Dead
What
to
is
Me?
her name?
Wasn't she? Was
She also played Velma on the Scooby-Doo live action.
Yeah, she was also in ER.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Just kidding.
Whatever. She
Yeah,
was
that
the nurse.
lady.
She was she replaced pretty much never. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna just shut
I
up.
only care about what I know her
I
from.
know. Okay, I get
Just
it.
kidding.
I know exactly what you're talking about. She's in Dead to Me. She plays Linda. Linda.
Linda Tripp.
Nope, but that's close.
Anyway.
So.
Next up, The Amanda Show came out in 1999.
Really? I thought
Yeah,
that came
dude.
in way later.
Me too, no. It didn't. Also, Rocket Power.
Rocket Power. Mm-hmm. Because that was after, like, it was like the heyday of Nicktoon shit.
Bob the Builder came out this year.
I mean.
It's probably too old to watch that, but I did with my little brother.
Oh, that's,
Good job, Austin.
That's fair.
Bob the Builder.
I never watched Bob the Builder.
We fix it. I did. I was way too old to watch that show. And I was way too old to watch Blue's Clues. Also, speaking of Blue's Clues,
Yes.
I was re-listening to our episode, and I totally didn't catch you saying that Blue was a girl. I totally forgot Blue was a girl.
Yeah.
So then I was like, wait, Magenta wasn't his girlfriend.
No.
Even though the whole time I thought it was his girlfriend, but they were just friends.
They were just friends. And Magenta,
Maybe
because
they were
Magenta was a
girlfriends.
girl. Maybe they were girlfriends. Maybe they were ahead of their time.
They were. Fucking Steve Burns knows what's up. Mm-hmm. Did you guys listen to fucking Songs for Dust Mites yet, or what? Anyway. Also, The Man Show came out this year. 1999.
The Man Show.
The Family Feud, hosted by Steve Harvey, came out in 1999. He's been hosting that shit since 1999.
Really? I thought that he didn't start hosting that till like 2015. Fuck.
I think that this is a wrong.
Or not.
I think this is wrong.
Who
Because I was
knows?
like, that cannot be true.
Or it could be.
Who hosted Family Feud before? Drew Carey?
No, Drew Carey.
Does he just host all the shows and then
Drew
they get new hosts and then
Drew
he just
Carey.
hosts Price is Right?
Yep, that's exactly what he does. No, who did Family? It was somebody.
Bob Barker?
Nope, that's what.
What's that other
What's
guy?
he did Price is Right, and then Drew Carey replaced him.
Yeah.
But I don't know who did Family Feud.
I don't remember. Anyways,
doesn't
Ripley's Believe It or Not came out this year. Did you watch that show?
The show.
What? The show.
I didn't know there was a show.
What?
No.
You only know about the actual place that you can go to?
Yeah,
you didn't
which
know
is
it was a show?
Bizarre, by the way.
Yeah, there's some weird... There is a whole show, and it's fucking
No.
hosted by Clark Kent from Lewis and Clark.
I don't.
Lois and Clark.
Do you,
What's his name?
Do you mean Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
there-
did I say? Batman? What
No,
did I just
you
say?
said you just never said Superman. You said Lewis and Clark. I was like, are you trying to say Batman?
I'm so confused. No, I was trying to say Superman.
Okay.
What was that guy's name? That played... Remember the show Lois and Clark or whatever?
I think I know what you're talking about, but I never watched that either.
Well, I didn't either, but the guy that played Superman was the host of Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I didn't
and they
know
would
that.
always just... The most vivid memory of that show, I think, is the Cat Man that's like a cat. And he
What?
also like slit his tongue, and he has like tattooed like shit on him, and
Why
he has
would
like
he
cat eyes. And
Why
he has-
would he slit?
He also slit his lips so he would have like fucking tiger mouth.
But why would he?
And he has whiskers. He implanted whiskers.
But why would he slit his tongue? A cat's
I don't know.
tongue
He just
is not
thought he was
slit.
weird. He just thought he wanted to be cool.
That's weird.
Another show that came out this 1999, Undressed on MTV.
Ooh, I remember
That
Undressed.
was a good scandalous one. My
remember
sister would always figure out
Undressed.
the password to unblock MTV. Not that we would only watch that
You
show.
had a password?
Yeah, my mom and dad would block that shit. They didn't want us watching Undressed, which I think I usually got scared when I watched that anyways. I was like, I can't be watching this. Mom's going to walk in and I'm going to be watching naked people.
Oh my god.
Also, the Tom Green Show came out this 1999.
Oh, I remember that. God, that's a blast
Your
from the
Bum
past.
is on the Rail.
Holy shit.
And our favorite Cold Case Files came out in 1999.
Yeah. Is this him?
Yes, the fucking Tiger Man.
You need to post this on Instagram.
Send me that right now.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, he has whisker piercings / implants.
What in the actual?
He also kind of looks like the bad guy from Sonic,
Oh yeah, he does.
doesn't he?
He
But
totally
like
does.
more cat-like.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to. I feel like I've been talking
Sorry.
for 17 hours. I'm sorry.
You're at an hour and 4 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna run through these. All right, we're
fine.
talking about movies. This is the last section.
Okay, go for it.
Movies. First, let's talk about adult films, but we're not talking about porn because.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
I
fine.
might have looked up the most after I wrote adult films on my notes. I might have looked up the top porns of 1999, and one of them was like, fuck. I wish I remember. Damn it, I don't remember. There weren't any like great fucking titles, or I
No.
would have said them because they were just like kind of like this is not even funny.
Like it's just like this.
It was like flashback, and it was like some girl tits. It was like the flashback, and then there was like something about the rocks and
kids.
the wet rocks or something.
Perfect. You're painting a really vivid description. It's
Yes. Anyway, so we're gonna not talk about those films. We're gonna
Perfect.
talk about the regular films.
Good
of
old-
the 1999. So number 1, American Beauty came out this year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
Green Mile came out this year. Like
That's
one of my favorite
right.
movies ever.
Yeah.
The Matrix came out,
Yep.
which I have still never seen the whole thing.
That's okay.
Even though my boyfriend looks like Keanu Reeves, I
He
guess.
does.
The Sixth Sense came out this year.
Oh my god, it did.
Fucked me up real good.
Fucked a lot of people up real good.
Cider House Rules. That was the number 5 movie of 1999. That was a real good one with Charlize Theron and Tobey Maguire.
Charlize Theron.
That was a good one. Star Wars Episode 1 came out this year.
We don't
People
talk about
were
it.
freaking out.
Yeah, they were freaking out and they went
Jar Jar
out.
Binks.
Don't talk about it.
Everyone hates him. Why does everyone hate Jar Jar Binks? Because he's annoying and he's not a
Because
real
he's
character.
Jar Jar fucking Binks. Yeah, no. It was
I don't get it.
it was just upsetting. That's all.
Office Space came out in 1999.
That was a good one. That was amazing.
That was so good. Boondock Saints came out. That was a good one. Fight
never watched
Club,
that
but
one.
we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that club.
Galaxy Quest came out this year.
And I love me. It's like one of the
I
most
haven't seen that one either.
underrated. You need to watch it.
I know. Someone even referenced that to me this week too, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Who is this person? I need to meet them because they're
Taylor Martin Funk.
That's awesome because usually no one understands because it is the most underrated comedy.
I know. I need to watch it. Chris
It's so
likes
good.
it, and we haven't watched it.
Oh, it's so funny.
Austin Powers: The Spy Who Shagged Me came out.
That's right.
The fucking Mummy came out. Brendan Fraser.
The Good Mummy.
The good one.
The good one.
And Lake fucking Placid came out this year, which I was afraid of a lake, which I didn't even see the movie.
I don't know if
was
I
afraid
ever
of a lake
saw that movie.
forever because of that trailer.
I don't think I ever watched the movie.
I
It was
always-
the alligator, right?
Yeah, I always thought an alligator was going to eat me if I was in a lake.
No, after I watched Anaconda, like I think that was like 96, 97, I'm like, I'm good with reptile movies. I'm fine.
So kids films, Tarzan came out. Baby
Ooh, yeah.
Geniuses.
Baby genius.
The Iron Giant, which,
Oh, that was a good one.
do you know who the voice of the Iron Giant is? Do you know
The
this fun
actual
fact?
Iron Giant, I believe it is, what's his name? Oh, I know it. It's Vin Diesel.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
some of the best Disney Channel original movies came out. Smart House, Xenon, Johnny Tsunami, and Horse
Fucking
Sense.
Xenon.
Muppets in Space came out.
Oh, yeah.
Passport to Paris featuring
Mary-Kate and Ashley.
yes, and Stuart Little came out this year, which I
Little
have a
high,
very
little low.
nightmare. Little hey, little ho.
Oh, high, little low. What?
I had a nightmare from that movie because
It was a.
yeah, I know.
What was the nightmare?
I was sick. I told you about my Bugs Life story, right? When I was sick, when I was like having a nightmare about Bugs Life.
You might have told me about
and
that.
about the
Yeah.
grasshoppers were gonna eat me.
Yeah.
Well, just again, I was sick and I watched Stuart Little, and I think I don't know. I went to bed that night and then I like woke up, but I was like half awake and half asleep, and I was like having this nightmare, and I went in my sister's room and I was like, Danielle, can I sleep in your room? And she was like, we just watched fucking Stuart Little, but I guess she was like, why? And I was like, because Stuart Little can't find his camera. And I was like trying to find Stuart Little's camera or something, and I was so distraught, and I literally like couldn't sleep because I was like halfway in a trance thinking about how I couldn't find Stuart Little's camera in his little fucking car.
Oh my god, you were a weird kid.
I had a very vivid, wild imagination,
No
Shay.
shit.
Very vivid.
No shit.
That's why the Scary Movie trailers scared the shit out of me.
No, that's totally fair. I get that.
As in, the Scary Movie parody movies trailers scared me.
Yes.
Not like, yeah. Anyway, and last but not least, let's talk about our favorite teen movies of 1999. This will end my fucking giant, long-ass segment because I can't stop reminiscing about everything.
Fair.
First of all, number one, 10 Things I Hate About You.
Ooh, that was a
Fucking
good
best.
one.
American Pie came out this year.
Oh yeah, God.
Jason
99.
Biggs was 21 when it was released.
Baby.
She's All That. Every boy in that movie was like the hottest boy
They
ever.
were. Yep, they were. With
Except
their
for Brock Hudson.
frosted.
Gross.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
And the
that.
guy that put pube on the pizza, he wasn't hot either.
No, I think I only watched that one though, like maybe once or twice. It wasn't my favorite movie.
That was like my favorite movie, and my mom actually let me own that movie, so I watched it all the time.
Oh, I watched 10 Things I Hate About You all the time.
I
That was a good one.
loved that one, but my mom didn't let me get that one. I think because they talk about a pulsating member in it, Allison Janney.
Oh, that's right. And they talk about black underwear, meaning that you're ready to have sex.
Mm-hmm. They talk about black undies. But yeah, so Rachel Lee Cook was in She's All That, Gabrielle Union, Anna Paquin, Usher, Little Kim, fucking Freddie Prinze Jr. and Paul Walker.
Oh yeah, because he
Both
was
of them
he
were in
was
that
the main
movie.
love interest. What the fuck happened to Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I thought you were gonna say Paul Walker, and I was gonna be like,
I was like,
he
well,
died.
he's gone. The poor man is gone.
Freddie Prinze Jr. has like a show on the
does?
internets,
Oh, I'm like,
and he has gray hair and he's cute.
yeah, he's pretty
He's
cute. The
I
last
think
thing
him
I
and
s-
fucking Sarah Michelle Gellar are still together.
Yeah, they have like 2 kids or something like that.
Or
But
something.
the last time I remember him like in anything was in a Friends episode when he played the nanny, the sensitive nanny.
So cute.
Oh no, he was in Scooby Doo with
Yeah,
his
he
wife.
was- yes.
Maybe his wife is just holding
And
him
Brock
captive.
Hudson.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Matthew Lillard is also in Scooby Doo. He's Shaggy, and Matthew Lillard plays Brock Hudson, and She's All That.
Yeah, that's right.
Never Been Kissed came out this year.
That was that year?
Yeah.
I thought that was like 2004.
No.
Oh, Drew Barrymore.
Cruel Intentions came out this year, which was my favorite, but also the weirdest teenage movie
It was the
ever.
weirdest teenage movie.
It's like, what high schoolers act like fucking Sebastian and Catherine?
Right? Like, and there's like just
Fucking weird, incestual, like drug addict sex fiends.
100%.
Like, I did not go to a high school like that.
It's a Catholic school and she keeps cocaine in her cross.
I went to public high school. Okay.
And then they all make out with each other because that's
yeah.
how you practice on your girlfriends. Or
Yeah,
practice for your
exactly.
boyfriends.
And Selma Blair was so weird in that movie.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fun one. Varsity Blues came out this year, which I've never seen.
I've never
and
seen
I
it
didn't
either.
know Paul Walker was in it either.
I did know he was in it, but I did not see it. We should probably watch it together.
We should. And last but not fucking least, the last movie of 1999 and the last thing I'm going to talk about,
An hour and a half later.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Can I get a what?
Came out this year, guys. Drop Dead Gorgeous, the movie that we always talk about, which I'm not going to talk completely about because I'm going to dedicate a whole episode to that movie. Came out in 1999.
Yes.
Let me just give you a quick little overview of what this movie is. It's a dark comedy starring so many. But Denise Richards and Kristen Dunst star as the high schoolers competing in a local beauty pageant. Amy Adams is in it, Allison Janney, Brittany Murphy, Ellen Birkin, Kirstie Alley, fucking so many other fucking people in this movie. It's crazy. But I also found the Roger Ebert fucking description or
review of it.
Oh
God,
he didn't like it as much as we did.
He was like, "What?"
Surprise! He's an old white man,
right?
He did think it was funny, but didn't think it was that funny.
He didn't think it was gonna be a cult classic.
It's actually pretty. It's kind of a entertaining excerpt, but I just wanted to read this little first part of his description of the movie. The movie takes place in Mount Rose, Minnesota, a setting created after long study of Fargo. What? The 50th anniversary of the Miss American Teen Princess contest is approaching, and the local chairwoman is former winner Gladys Lehman, who's played by Kirstie Alley.
Yes.
Whose daughter, Becky, is a leading contender. Her big competition, trailer park cutie Amber Adkins, whose alcoholic mother, Annette, is burned in a fire and spends much of the movie with a beer can permanently fused into the flesh of her hand. ... Go read the rest of the review. / if you haven't seen Drop Dead Gorgeous, you need to get your ass in gear.
You do. It's really, really good.
But yeah, basically that's all I'm saying because that movie deserves its own episode.
Yeah, it does.
And I've been talking
really,
for
really
way too fucking long. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And it's time for.
Ow. Yep.
I did not commit a crime against Shay just now. That was her own
bumped my
self.
face.
But
It's
it
fine.
is time for crime. So let's get into it.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. So, for crime, I'm doing The Life and Crimes of Richard Speck. Have you heard of him? Probably not.
No.
Okay, moving on. I'm not even
It
giving you time.
sounds like a children's book, but probably not.
Well, it turns a little bit differently than it's more like a cautionary tale
Okay.
of not falling on your head, essentially. But here we go.
Okay,
Here we go. So, Speck was born in Kirkwood, Illinois. He was the seventh of 8 children and raised in a religious family, as they all kind of seem to be, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Usually all these stories out with like, and they were deeply religious.
They were Catholic.
And you're like, great. So
Well, we know
what's
where
the
it
common denominator here? Okay, so his father
Control.
his father died when he was 6, and he was like extremely close to him, and he was frequently beaten by his drunken stepfather, who apparently was just like a giant piece of shit compared to his dad.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, he had like apparently like a long rap sheet of like criminal history and allegation. Yeah, and then he was just a drunk. And then to add insult to injury, he suffered a head injury when he fell from a tree. So
When?
just when he was a kid, and I guess he like really fucked up his head. But they're like, it's fine. You just run it off there,
You're
son.
fine. Just
run it off. This was like what?
Chisel a
This was
fucking hole in your eye. You'll be
right.
fine.
This is the 50s. It's like you walk that shit off and go play some football, some good American football. So whether it was from the fall or the beatings or both, his life of questionable choices started at a fairly early age. Okay, so he started drinking at the age of 12, and by 15, he was pretty much a full-blown alcoholic. So, which is super sad.
And
but
this is where our story begins.
this is where it all begins. So do you listen to some comedy?
Yeah.
So have you ever listened to John Mulaney?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what I think of like when he starts drinking at 12. Even though like, I don't know, like I've seen like a lot of 12-year-olds now, and it's not like they're tiny like little 7-year-olds, but in my brain when I was like watching this, it was like he was a 7-year-old.
John Mulaney?
No, like this guy, and I just can only imagine like is like, what did you do today? And it's like, coloring. Like, leave me alone. Like I'm just like I'm coloring dinosaurs and shit. So, but you know, 15, you're dicking around. You're pretty much like a full grown man at 15. Like you're doing shit.
Full grown.
Yeah. So anyway,
You're
So
like masturbating 7 times a day.
totally, I know what responsibility is.
I know what real life is and love.
I can buy tube socks for a nickel. It's totally chill. All right. So anyway, oh, it's sad because it's kind of true. Okay, so his first arrest was in 1955 at the age of 13 for trespassing. It was followed by like dozens of other arrests for misdemeanors over the next 8 years.
And just keep him coming.
Just keep him coming.
Fucking don't do anything about him.
100%.
He's just fine.
He's just fine. So he's just being a boy. Boys will be boys.
He's
only
a boy.
Which,
George.
in all honesty, like later on when we talk about this more, like that's pretty much what his mother did.
Great.
So
sounds about right. The
Perfect,
parents
right?
are ridiculous.
right. So he eventually ends up working as a laborer for a 7-Up bottling company of Dallas. So they had moved to Texas at some point.
Didn't you talk about someone else being working at 7-Up in a crime story recently?
I don't think so.
Maybe I was just talking about 7-Up.
You could have been or thinking about 7-Up.
Around Christmas time. About the 7-Up commercial. Never mind. I remember now. Bye.
Okay. So he worked there for almost 3 years, from August of 1960 to 1963. I think actually it was his longest held job. And then in 1961, he was 21 at this point. Speck met a 15-year-old Shirley Annette Malone at the Texas State Fair, which is full of corn dogs and clearly full of horn dogs. And she became pregnant after 3 weeks of dating him. So, like the good old religious people that they were, Shirley and Speck married on January 19th of 1962. I don't know why I'm talking like that. I'm so sorry, everybody. So anyway,
I love it.
And initially they moved in with Speck, his mother, his sister Carolyn, and Carolyn's husband. So
I just realized his name is Speck.
yeah, well, no, it's just his last name. His first name is Richard.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just calling him Speck. I don't know why I'm calling him Speck, but it's fine because he's a Speck.
Nothing.
So they move in with like a whole motley crew essentially, and so I'm only kind of envisioning of like a shittier, more boring Full House situation, just like with religious, like sprinkled religious tones all over the place,
rosaries and crucifixes,
crucify and judgmental eyes.
Wait,
crucifixes. Okay. So
don't know if you heard that burp, but it was very strange.
It was kind of adorable. Okay, so Speck's mother and stepfather had separated at this point, so I think he was fine with going home because he wasn't going to get beat. And his stepfather had moved to California, so he was out of the picture. So when Speck's daughter, Robbie Lynn, was born in 1962, his wife did not know where Speck was. And he wasn't buying balloons and cigars. No. He was serving a 22-day jail sentence for disturbing the peace in McKinney, Texas after a drunken melee. You know, like good fathers do. He probably was just really excited.
Wait, what?
I'm a dad! Set fire to everything. So, yeah, so he was the wife was like, I don't know where he is. And apparently he just was out causing ruckus. So, anyway. And if you would think like a kid would just curb his little life of crime, you'd be wrong. So it actually kind of got worse. In July of 1963, Speck was caught having forged and cashed a coworker's whopping $44 paycheck, which I guess at the time was like a $370 at the, like, I guess.
It was like you could buy a house with that much money?
For 370.
I'm just kidding.
Yep. It was just like you could buy a house.
It was like a home loan.
It was like a home loan. You just can put everything on that. No, Jesus Christ. That was like your entire like 4-year tuition for a college. God damn. Can you imagine?
That'll be $1,000 for the year. Okay. Sounds great.
Right. For each class. I'm sorry, I meant each class.
I meant each hour that you were in class today.
Sucks to suck. So, and he also, let's see, he burglarized a grocery store and he stole cigarettes, beer, and do you want to guess how much in cash?
$47.
$3.
Ooh, big spender.
So I'm kind of thinking like maybe he was doing this for the thrill. I'm not quite sure
He's just like, yes.
what his deal was, but whatever. For $3, it's just like that's fine. Yeah.
It was probably
yeah.
It helped
Something.
him in the future to his future crimes.
Maybe.
It was his baby steps.
I guess so. I mean, at this point he was already like pretty heavy into the crimes, but whatever. So the 21.
He didn't want to get too crazy.
He didn't want to get too nuts. You're right.
Staying low key a
You're
little
right.
bit.
He was being smart.
I'm gonna steal $3.
Right? They're not gonna know if I steal $3.
It's like when I would steal eyeliner while I bought like a CD and like crayons and shit. Back in the day. I would steal eyeliner from Kmart.
All in the same purchase. You bought crayons, a CD, and some eyeliner. What were you doing with the crayons?
I didn't buy the eyeliner.
What were you doing with the crayons or the crowns? Whatever the fuck, however you say that.
Oh, you tried to say crayons.
I can't. It's so weird.
Crayons.
It was like I was saying it with a French accent. I couldn't even say it. Crayons?
What do you do with crayons?
What are you doing with crayons?
It's like Giada, like pronouncing mozzarella. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you do with crayons?
No, because it felt
I don't know,
so
that was
unnatural.
I was just like thinking about what I would buy as a like
Oh, you didn't.
14-year-old.
This wasn't actually what you did. I was super confused. I was like,
I
how are
mean,
you buying
Yeah,
those
I would.
three
I
things
would
together?
like buy things, and then I'd be like, "But I'm gonna steal this eyeliner." But I'm still gonna buy shit. It was like my baby step
Right.
before I robbed the bank last year that I never did.
Well,
What am I talking
times
about?
were tough, and you're a busy lady. But no, so did you?
Also, look at your cat.
Well, she's kind. I mean, she likes to sleep right on her back, you guys, and that just means that she feels super safe. Also, she's really fat, but I love her and her big round body. Look how happy she is. She's so happy.
She goes from literally hiding under the bed every
just
day
having,
that
like,
I'm ever here to just like
on
fucking
her back,
spread eagle on her
spread
back.
eagle on the back. Yep, exactly.
She
just
I have that effect on people.
She likes what she likes. You do.
She does.
You do.
I know.
Don't judge her. Don't judge her. Don't.
I know it's my effect.
Don't slut shame her. Don't slut shame my cat. Anyway, so
that little pussy.
okay. So the 21-year-old Speck at the time was convicted of forgery and burglary. Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Burglary.
Good Lord. Burglary. I can't even
I'll
say
just
it.
like say it
I know.
after you in a very
I'll just
low
like put
tone.
it like in like
burglary.
burglary. I'm fucking tongue-tied.
Tongue twat?
Twat.
What?
Anyway, the 21-year-old Speck was convicted of forgery and burglary and sentenced to 3 years in prison. He was paroled after serving 16 months in the Texas State Penitentiary in Huntsville, Texas. So he gets released and he just can't fucking help himself. 1 week after his parole, he was he was holding a 17-inch that wasn't even close to holding. He was, my God, what is wrong with? I only drank half that drink.
You got a little drunk at the
No,
forge, didn't you?
Shit, I kind of did. Yeah. So he was armed with a 17-inch carving knife, and he attacked a woman in a parking lot of her apartment building. So he's like getting more and more violent, right? So
yeah.
He's also still married, mind you. Not that really matters, but whatever. He fled when the woman screamed. The police arrived within minutes and shortly thereafter apprehended him a few blocks away. He was convicted of aggravated assault and given a 16-month sentence to run concurrently with the parole violation, and returned to the prison in Huntsville. But due to an error, was released from prison just 6 months later, after his completion of his parole violation.
Due to an error.
Yeah. Hashtag whoopsies.
Hashtag what?
Hashtag all
You
the
just
records were
stabbed
probably.
someone in the fucking parking lot, but whoops.
Right.
I guess you're fine.
They're like, well, this pencil mark clearly looks smudged on our record, so,
so you're expunged.
You're free. Go forth, my little one. Okay, So he gets out, and he actually doesn't get into trouble like right away. So good on him for like a minute. He gets a job at a meat company, but fucks that up because he ended up having 6 accidents with the company truck before just not showing up altogether. So
Okay, this is your 5th accident.
Yeah.
Can you just refrain
he's
from
like
crashing the van?
I'm just not gonna come in. How about that? So homeboy is just like at a loss, and his mother suggests moving in. I forgot about this part.
To the jail?
No. So his not funny.
I'm excited to hear about what you're about
It's
to
because
say.
I totally forgot about this. And his mother is I think kind of the reason because he's a piece of shit. Anyway, so his mother suggests moving in with a 29-year-old divorced woman who also was an ex-wrestler, and she needed someone to watch her 3 kids. So she thought, perfect.
My son.
Yeah, so she was like, perfect. He needs a job and a part-time lover. He's just a little, my baby boy is just a little misunderstood.
These mothers.
Right? Coddling. And maybe she thought if like, and this is what I'm thinking. And maybe she thought if he ever did try anything that she could handle herself because she was an wrestler, like maybe he can change.
Maybe she can wrestle him to the ground and wrestle some sense into him.
Right. So, and also at that point, Speck's wife finally divorces his ass. Thank God. It's January
After he moves in with a divorced wrestler.
right. I think after his like whatever umpteenth getting arrested. So it's January 1966 at this point. So weirdly, caring for young children didn't change jack shit. Shocking, right? That same month that he moved in with her, he stabbed another man in a knife fight and was charged with aggravated assault again. But a defense attorney hired by his mother was able to get the charge reduced to disturbing the peace. Good job, Mom. He was again just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was fined a whopping $10, and which I think was the equivalent like $75, and jailed for 3 days when he failed to pay the fine. So
You didn't pay your $10.
nope, you get to be back in the jail
For
cell.
3 days only.
So jump to March of the same year. He bought a car, and
we're jumping.
No, we're jumping eons. Okay, so he bought a car, and the following evening, he burglarized a grocery store, stole 70 cartons of cigarettes, sold them out of the trunk of his car in the grocery store's parking lot, and then abandoned his car. This guy was just a wackadoo.
He just really needed
And that's why I
to
did this story,
do
because
crime.
it was so all over the place. It was like he was like, well, I'm done with this shit. It's fine.
It was just like he didn't know what else to do with himself,
Right.
or his life,
100%.
and didn't know what other purpose.
But it does
for
get
his-
way worse, unfortunately. Yeah. So the police traced the car.
He doesn't just sell cigarettes out of his trunk.
No, he wasn't just the typical riffraff. So the police traced the car to him and issued a warrant for his arrest for the robbery on March 8th. And this would be his 42nd in Dallas, his 42nd arrest. How he was getting not in prison, I don't understand, but okay.
It's like when I was in work release or like fucking like my fucking classes and shit, and people had like 8 DUIs. I'm
You're
like, how are you in this same class?
I don't understand.
Why aren't you somewhere else?
I don't understand.
Like,
right?
what fucking system is this? Anyways,
Yeah, no, it's
moving on.
kind of the whole point of all this too.
It's
So his 42nd would finally mean another prison term. So his sister, Caroline, drove him to the Dallas bus depot where he caught a bus to Chicago. So his entire family are like the biggest fucking enablers I have ever read about.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, so they're all just helping him just get away, or saying like he just needs to change. He can just babysit and it's fine and it doesn't matter.
He'll just watch children.
It's fine. So he bounces around Chicago and ends up in his hometown of, I believe it's pronounced Monmouth. Monmouth, Illinois, where his crimes again get kicked up a notch. So it's still 1966. On April 3rd, Mrs. Virgil Harris, a 65-year-old divorcee, returned home at 1 a.m. to find a burglar in her house with a knife. A 6-foot-tall white man who was very polite, quote unquote, and spoke very softly with a southern drawl. The man blindfolded her, tied her up, raped her, ransacked her house, and stole.
But she said that he talked really nice.
Yes, that was her report to the police. But he raped her and then stole her whopping $2.50 she had earned in babysitting that evening. I just still don't understand, like, the chump change mentality.
He had a sickness.
So I think it's more about robbing people, and he doesn't really give a fuck what he gets. Yeah. So a week later, Mary Kay Pierce, a 32-year-old barmaid who worked at her brother-in-law's tavern, not that it matters, was last seen leaving the tavern at 12:35 a.m. on April 9th. She was reported missing on April 13th, and her body was found that day in an empty hog house behind the tavern, having died from a blow to her abdomen and ruptured her liver. So I think this was
her abdomen.
Yeah. So it wasn't even her head. It was like he fucking just
Jesus
stomped her. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
So they think this might have been his very first murder. So, but I don't think he was ever. Well, 1 minute. He had frequented Frank's place, and the empty hog house was one of the several that he had helped build in the preceding month. So the police briefly questioned him about Pierce's death, and he showed up to collect his final carpentry paycheck on April 15th. And they asked him to stay in town for further questioning, as you do. When police showed up at the hotel where he was staying at to continue their questioning, they found that he had left the hotel a few hours earlier carrying his suitcases and saying he was just going to the laundromat. So very stepdad walking out to be I'm gonna go get some milk, but taking all his belongings, and you just never see him again. So, but he had left town, clearly. So, super shocking. A search of his room turned up a search of his room, he had his radio turned all the way up, and a costume jewelry that Mrs. Virgil Harris had reported missing from her house, as well as items reported missing in two other local burglaries in the past month. So yeah, so he was never, I think, charged with that at all, which sucks. So he goes.
Wasn't.
Nope. So
why would he be?
Nope. I don't know if they just didn't know where he was or what happened. So he goes off to live with his sister and her family, and gives this cock and bull story that he had to leave where he was after refusing to sell narcotics for a crime syndicate there, and they bought it.
Of course.
So his super gullible brother-in-law is like, "Don't worry, brother, I got your back." And you just have some crazy fucking luck. It's all good. That's just crazy. I mean, who would have guessed the 43rd time? That's probably who. That is just crazy. That's definitely you're down on your luck. So anyway, his brother-in-law takes him down to get a job through a friend, where he again blows it by drinking and fighting. But his faithful brother-in-law still doesn't give up. He takes his ass down to the hiring hall to get which I guess is a little, it's where you can go, because I guess they're by kind of, I guess Michigan and shit. So they can get on boats and they can just be assigned to ships and stuff. So there's a hiring hall there, and so he's gonna get registered for his seaman card. Giggity. So
did he suck a boat full of seamen?
Might have wanted to,
like Rod Stewart.
Maybe. So.
Oh God! Don't tell me what he did.
And let's see. And at this point, his family is pushing him out of the house. Fucking finally, which I just really can't believe that they didn't kick him out at before this point, and that the brother was fucking figured out you can get down yourself.
Love.
But maybe also he was he wanted to make sure he got his ass down there and did not come back. But who knows? Anyway, he drops him off at the hiring hall to wait getting assigned to a ship. He does, But by the time he gets to like where he was supposed to go, the spot was taken, so he has to be taken back to the hiring hall when it's closed. So I'm just saying this because I'm just telling you, he's like getting more and more increasingly frustrated. He's getting really grouchy. He's pushed away from his family at this point. Probably hasn't killed or robbed anything, so he's just itching. So he finally just
He's got a scratch.
He's got a scratch. He's got an itch.
Time out.
So,
Are you drinking your drink?
I am, but I'm parched, so I have to drink this too.
Okay. Just wondering.
Don't you worry. So he finally says fuck it and goes to the taverns. He drinks himself stupid and holds a 53-year-old woman, Ella Mae Hooper, who I guess was drinking at the same tavern with him. He took her to his room at the Shipyard Inn, raped her, and stole her black, like 22 caliber revolver. And this next fact was like thrown in there, and I thought it was kind of funny, just because it said like a $16 mail order Saturday night special revolver. It was like giving me facts of this horrible crime, and then it was like throwing in like a subliminal advertisement in there, like, but you can get yours for just blah blah blah. Act now.
$16.99.
4 payments of $32. Yeah. So it was just kind of weird how they did that, but anyway. So I just thought it was weird. So let's see what happened next. After dinner, at the nearby Kay's Pilot House, he returned to drink at the Shipyard's Inn, around 10:20. When he left, dressed entirely in black, armed with a pocket knife, a hunting knife, and the woman he just assaulted's revolver,
Perfect.
and walked 1.5 miles west, like back towards the hiring hall. But he ended up going across the street from the hiring hall to a dormitory full of nursing students, where honestly he might have been like keeping an eye on the entire time, when he was looking for work. So, because like throughout the entire, when I was researching a lot of this through like Murderpedia, it was saying like it kept kind of coming back to the fact like the hiring hall was here, and then the nurse's dormitory was like right across the street or whatever.
Did you just say Murderpedia?
Yeah,
That's a thing?
it's a thing. Like, so when I look up a crime, I get a lot of my facts from there. It's called Murderpedia, and it's like every known criminal you want to, and it gives their entire history. Yeah, it's a great research tool.
#Murderpedia.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
They're awesome.
Anyway, sorry. I just
No,
wanted to make sure
you're totally fine.
that I heard that
No,
correctly.
that's totally fine. So anyway, so it's at 11 p.m. at this point. It's July 13th, 1966. He broke into the townhouse. And like I said, it was functioning as a dormitory for several young student nurses. Let's see, armed with only a knife. But like there's kind of some discrepancy with that. Like I guess the Illinois Supreme Court opinion recounting the facts of the case reports that that Speck appeared at the door of the townhouse holding a gun. So it just depends what article you read. Anyway, he raped and then killed the eight young women. So he killed all of them. Eight. So, and there is a conflicting report with that too. Some stories say that he raped all of them, and other stories say that he just raped the last one. Not that it really it matters, like it doesn't take away anything or
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So anyway, so their names were let's see, Gloria, Patricia, Nina, Pamela, Suzanne, Marianne, Merletta, and Valentina. So Speck, who later claimed he was high on both alcohol and drugs, may have originally planned to commit he may have originally planned to commit just a routine burglary, but honestly that was probably a lie, not to sound too much like Maury.
I was just gonna do routine burglary, but then
Yeah.
I accidentally killed 8 women.
It was my bad.
Whoops! I don't know.
I just got overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do.
Oh my god.
So the women were not all present at the home at first. When he broke in, 6 of them were there. And then he like found 3 of them, and then he like herded them into a bedroom, and then he found 3 more essentially. And then by midnight, 3 more nurses had come home, only to be tied up as well. He used like nautical knots, and then he tied the women's hands and feet with strips from like torn bed sheets. He held the women in the house for hours and assured the women they were only going to be robbed. But he was methodically leading them out of the room one by one, stabbing or strangling them to death. And yeah, it was, I can't imagine what those girls, because it was said like they pretty much were like hearing either muffled screams or whatever, so they knew what was going to happen to them. They just sat there. I mean, what were they going to do?
God.
He finally raped and strangled his last victim, it was Gloria Davy. And only one woman, Cora, and I'm going to probably mispronounce her name incorrectly, Amuro, I'm probably saying that wrong, so I apologize. She escaped because she managed to wiggle under a bed while Speck was out of the room with one of his victims. So Speck may have lost count. Or he may have known or maybe he only knew that there were only 8 women living in the townhome, but had been unaware of the 9th student nurse who was just spending the night here.
Oh my
Or spending the night there, so lucky her. So she stayed hidden until almost 6 a.m. When she emerged, she climbed out from the northeast bedroom window.
So she was hiding?
She was hiding the entire time. So she wiggled away apparently and just hid under the bed. And she got into the ledge and she started screaming, "They're all dead. All my friends are dead." And just screaming for help.
Oh, and that's a song that came out last year.
Oh, I'm
Anyways,
so glad
sorry.
that's relevant. Fuck.
Sorry.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yikes. What's that? What's the song about?
It's by Lil Uzi Vert or some shit, and it's called "All My Friends Are Dead."
Oh, that
Something in the head.
Yeah.
It's like,
ugh.
Anyway,
Lovely.
I'm sorry that I just brought that up.
No, I was just no. It's
Pop culture.
All good pop culture. Yay.
I wonder if that's what that song's about.
I hope not.
No. Let's go on.
So, the lieutenant that was heading the investigation, he compared, or at least he was like the head of the identification section of the Chicago Police Department. He compared and identified a smudge from a fingerprint that was found on the murder scene to another provided by the FBI, which belonged to Richard Speck. So,
I knocked over the Rocco cow.
oh no, heifer. So Sergeant Hugh Grahana, I don't even know, assisted with the comparison, and later that morning, another investigator found a better fingerprint on the door at the scene. So thank God there was some kick-ass detective work happening. They were on their shit. They were on their shit in the 60s.
Then wait 7 months to look.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking San Luis Obispo! I'm just kidding.
You're going to be all about it. I love it. So 2 days later, after the murders, he was identified by a drifter named Claude Lunsford.
A drifter?
Yeah, Speck and Lunsford and another man had been drinking the evening of July 15th on a fire escape at the Star Hotel. And on July 16th, Lunsford recognized a sketch of the murderer in the evening paper and phoned the police at 9:30. After finding Speck in his room, essentially, in his Lunsford's room, in his own room at the Star Hotel. That's kind of nice, right? Like a drunk with a conscience. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking fuck this dude. Man, seriously, good for him, man. I love it. So the police, he's like, I might be a
drunk impression,
right? I might be a drunk. I know, I might be a drunk, but just falling asleep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
So the police, however, did not respond to the call, although the records showed that they had been made. So right, exactly what you said. Perfect. That's great.
The calls were made, but no one answered them.
Nobody was home
at the police department.
It was not our fault.
We
Barbara.
were eating donuts.
So Speck then attempted suicide. I believe he cut his wrist to his elbow. So,
damn, that's a pretty good try.
That's a pretty good try.
Didn't work.
Didn't stick.
Fuck!
And then the Star Hotel desk
damn
clerk
it.
phoned in the emergency around midnight. He was taken to the Cook County Hospital, and let's see. I'm seeing double. At the hospital, he was recognized by Dr. Leroy Smith, a 25-year-old surgical resident who had read about the Born to Raise Hell tattoo like, I guess he had on his body. So he read about it in a newspaper story. He's like, I know what that is. So
Good thing that guy was up on his current events.
Right. So the police were called. They finally answered the phone, and he was finally arrested. So he was analyzed.
His 100th time.
Yes. And they're like, you know what? No more, sir. No more.
You've had enough chances.
Jesus.
58 to be exact.
58 is the charm.
Even after you stabbed a woman.
Yeah. Shit. But what's that? He was never charged with that other crime with the woman that was found in that hog house. So he was analyzed by a panel of psychiatrists, and they were all like, he ain't fucking crazy.
He ain't crazy?
No, he ain't crazy. They didn't say I wrote this.
No, I know, but they said that... I mean, but they basically said he wasn't crazy.
He wasn't crazy, because they didn't want him to claim that on the trial. They wanted to make sure that he got the death penalty. Oh. So they're like, he can't claim that on the trial. So that was... Okay. But he was analyzed by another psychiatrist through weekly sessions while he was awaiting trial, and he stated he had depression, anxiety, guilt, and shame among his emotions, but also a deep love for his family. So, he might just need another chance. He also had an obsessive compulsive personality and a Madonna prostitute attitude towards women. What does that do, you ask? Which means he viewed women as saintly until he felt betrayed by them for some reason, which hostility developed. So I was like, so a dick? I don't. And like a hothead is maybe like a better term than like he has a Madonna prostitute toward women. Like he just doesn't. So what you're saying is like he likes when women respond to him when he wants them to do certain things, but when they don't do those things, he gets an asshole, a chauvinistic asshole. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm hearing you right, doctor. But okay.
Thanks, doctor.
So he also diagnosed him with an organic brain syndrome resulting from
organic.
I don't know why they say. I don't know why
not
it's called
GMO.
Organic, not GMO. That's corn-fed Iowa beef.
That is.
Resulting from cerebral injuries suffered earlier in Speck's life, probably from the fall, or from the beatings, and stated that he was competent to stand trial, but was insane at the time of the crime due to the effects of alcohol and drug use for his organic brain syndrome. So, but then his opinion was thankfully thrown out because he was writing a book about Speck for his financial gain and was promptly fired after the trial ended. So,
good.
So seriously, actually, like in this time, like Chicago was pretty on point.
Good job, Chicago, for
right stepping up at the time.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, Speck would go on to try and claim.
I don't know what to say anymore.
I know, you just don't say anything. So Speck would go on to try and claim he had no recollection of the murders. He had just no fucking idea.
I don't remember when I murdered 8 people because one at a time. One at a time.
I had like 45 shots of Fireball, and I just blacked out, man. I went to go find some chicken wings, and I didn't find the chicken wing store. That's not where I was at all. But all I know is I woke up and I thought it was barbecue sauce in my hand, and it wasn't barbecue sauce. Like, I wish he had said all that, but he did not.
And they were like, you're free to go.
You're free to go. Just wash that right off as you go. So
wash that right off.
Wash that right off at the door by the drain.
Check your attitude at the door.
Check your bloodstains and no more.
Dare. Check your bloodstains at the door.
That's the name
and
of the
if you
episode.
have them, take them off.
That's the name of the episode.
Check your bloodstains. Because it's 1999.
That's right.
Should I write that in my notes?
Right, yes, write down. Check
your bloodstains at the door.
What is it? Something with the 90s too. Check your
something about 1999.
Something with the 90s.
We'll figure it out. I have
check
a week.
your something and no, you don't. You have like 3 days. Check
you're right.
Check your something and your bloodstains at the door. Anyway. Okay, where am I? But when the okay, So he claimed that he had no recollection of the murders, but honestly, it didn't really matter because they had a fucking live witness who, like, dramatically in court identified him in, like, she stood up, like, from the witness booth, like, walked over to him, pointed at his face and, like, got, like, to his fucking, like, right down his nose, and was like, this is the man that did all this. So, boss fucking bitch. Like, she was not even scared. Like, they didn't even prompt her. They're like,
what's that lady's name?
Her name was Cora. So, Cora stood up and she was like, that motherfucker, right? Like, without, like, a prompt. They're like, so, can you? And she was like, yep, he's right fucking there. And wasn't even scared. So, so one of the lieutenants testified regarding the fingerprints, which were a match. She provided, like, scientific evidence the prosecution needed for the conviction.
Which is probably hard at that time of the years.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Cora's testimony, placed the evidence against Speck beyond a reasonable doubt, which persuaded the jurors. So there was like, this is freaking dumb with fucking science in the 1960s. It was awesome.
Yes,
Science. Maybe don't be cocky and like put your blood like things like everywhere and be like, they won't find me. Like it's not 1920s. Like get out of here.
Yeah.
So
come on, dude.
On April 15th, after a whopping 40
St. Leopold and Loeb.
Nope.
That's their names.
Oh, good
the
call.
OGs.
Nice. On April 15th, after 49 minutes of deliberation, the jury found Speck guilty and recommended the death penalty. And then he, of course, was sent to the death. He was sent to the electric chair, or he was at least sentenced to the electric chair, but granted an immediate stay pending automatic appeal to the Illinois Supreme Court, which upheld his conviction and death sentence on November 22nd of 1968. So,
wait, was he not? Wait, he was?
He was put on death row, and then he tried to appeal it, and then they still were like, no, the Supreme Court was like, no, you're still going to the electric chair.
I missed.
But in June of 1971, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld his conviction, but reversed his death sentence because I guess there was something that happened with a court case that it made it, they felt like it was unconstitutional to do the death penalty. So he was resentenced to 400 to 1,200 years in prison. So with 8 consecutive sentences of 50 to 150 years. Just say life.
I know, it's like, why is that a conviction? Like, because it's just the added years that you get?
Do you know what I think
so
it
is?
is?
Like, makes it so dramatic?
I think it makes it dramatic, and I think it's like 1,200 years, like, to a family, like, a grieving family member, it's like, okay, they're never getting out. Like, a life sentence, like, maybe it's like, okay, there might be, I think it's like, it's for a human brain to be like 1,200 years, like, yeah. Even though it seems like wretched excess, it's like, no, he's never getting out.
Because even if you're at like 70 years, you could be 50 years good time.
Right, 100%. And just be like, because that could be considered a life sentence. So I think it's maybe for the family members to be like, no, he's never getting out. Is my only way of thinking it. So
and they haven't changed the system since 1864.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's a random year that I pulled out of my ass. If you couldn't tell. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. He was, oopsies. He was
knock, knock.
He was denied parole in 7 minutes at his first parole hearing.
It took him 7 minutes.
They took him 7 minutes. I can't believe he didn't. They just walk in and they were like, no.
No.
In 1976, and he had like 6 more hearings. In 1977, 1978, 1981, 84, 87, and 90. But he was all denied. So, fun fact: while in prison, he was given the nickname Birdman after the film Birdman of Alcatraz because he kept a pair of sparrows that had flown into his cell. I mean, this guy was like all over the fucking place. Like, seriously.
Like fucking whimsical, like Cinderella.
Fucking weird. He's like, I will.
That's what he reminded me of when you first started talking about him, Cinderella.
Yeah.
His dad died and his stepdad was a fucking dick.
Piece of shit.
And then Cinderella didn't become a fucking crazy psycho killer.
No.
But maybe she fucking did.
Maybe she did. Maybe
we don't know.
It was all a glitch. You never know.
Fucking fake news, you know? Who knows?
You never know. So he actually was described as a loner who collected stamps. And even the warden described...
He just collects stamps.
He just collects. He's no harm.
He's fine.
And even the warden described him as a big nothing doing time. So, which is insane considering his crimes, but whatever. So
That just goes to show, like, the fucking mentality of he's a big nothing. It's like,
well, maybe it makes more sense why he was able to just like be arrested 42 fucking times, and he would just act like a normal fucking Joe. They're like, let him, like, he's not gonna do anything.
Pet sparrows in this one.
It's fine. He just bites their heads off if they get too old. Anyway,
At his first rock concert.
It's fine. At his very first rock concert. So he was, however, not a model prisoner. Shocking. He was often caught with drugs or distilled moonshine. Punishment for such infractions never stopped him, though. He would quote, this is a quote of him saying, "How am I going to get into trouble? I'm here for 1,200 years." Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. You do you. So...
yeah, at least he was honest.
Right.
With
so
himself.
over the years, he denied media requests, but finally granting one to a guy named Bob Greene in 1978. Speck told Greene that he read Greene's column in the Chicago Tribune, and in the interview, he actually finally confessed to the murders for the first time publicly and said he thought he would be out of prison between now and the year 2000. And at which point, he hoped to run his own grocery store business. You know how you do after you slaughter
people. The actual fuck.
That's why I kept going with this, because I'm like, this is so fucking weird. Yeah, that's what he told this
And then
guy.
my pet sparrows will be the general
Yes.
manager and the clerk.
He will be the stalker, and then we will get a whole flock of them that they have to bring in the big things of flour and things, and it won't be fine.
Oh, no.
The deer will come and they will eat. I mean, like, seriously, like, it's ridiculous. So
I'll beckon them with my whispers.
Whistles. No, he's saying this, but and then in the same breath, he also told Greene that one of his pleasures in prison was getting high. So I don't, again,
Off of whatever they could figure out how to get high off
this
of.
guy was fucking all over the goddamn map. So when Greene asked him if he compared himself to celebrity killers like John Dillinger, Speck replied, "Me, I'm not Dillinger or anybody else. I'm freakish." Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we get it.
Speck said that when he killed the nurses, he had quote unquote no feelings, but I guess things had like expanded into like, I had no feelings at that night. They said that there was blood all over the place. I can't remember. It felt like nothing. I'm sorry as hell for those girls and their families and for me. I mean, this guy's a narcissist. If I had to do it all over again, I would just do a simple house burglary. Instead of just saying, if I had to do it all over again, I would just not do any of the crimes.
Well, at least he wouldn't have murdered
I
all
guess
eight
he was honest.
of the women.
Right? I guess it's a silver
I
lining.
guess I would have maybe done this.
Right? Maybe I just would have put a bag full of my shit and lit it on fire. I would have just done that
I would have
instead.
just door-dang ditched. Door-dung.
And so Speck's final thought for the American people in this article was, just tell them to just keep up their hatred for me. I know it keeps up their morale, and I don't know what I'd do without it. Which, I'm not sure if that was like to gain sympathy or what he was trying. I think the guy was just fucking nuts, but whatever.
But whatever.
God. Anyway, so don't worry, we're almost done. Which oh my god, it's 48 minutes. We talked. This episode's gonna be really long. My bad.
I talked forever.
This one went by fast though. I
didn't think that we were that long.
But don't worry, we're almost done. So in May of 1996, Chicago television news anchor Bill Curtis, #American Justice. What?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Damn.
He received videotapes from an anonymous attorney that had been made at Statesville Prison in 1998. Showing them publicly for the first time before a shocked and deeply angry Illinois state legislator. Curtis pointed out the scenes of sex, drug use, and money being passed around by prisoners who seemingly had no fear of being caught. And in the center of it all, Speck. So, and what was he doing? Well, he was performing oral sex on another inmate, sharing a huge pile of cocaine with another inmate,
How do you get piles of cocaine in jail?
parading around in silk panties, and he was sporting female-like breasts, allegedly grown from smuggling and hormone treatments, and boasting, if they only knew how much fun I was having, they'd turn me loose.
So he grew himself breasts to fondle himself?
Which, honestly, okay, so I did look up the video. I did not watch any oral sex happening. Don't you worry.
Wait, you can look up the video?
Yes. Because, okay, so it was like, so I'll tell you that in a minute. The Illinois legislator packed the auditorium, packed like an auditorium or whatever to view the 2-hour-long video.
2 hours?
Yeah, I only watched like 5, like not even that, like maybe 45 seconds. But stopped the screening when the film showed him, like Richard Speck, performing oral sex on another man. They were like, that is enough.
That is crossing the line.
Piles of cocaine is one thing, but sick. So anyway, apparently from behind the camera, prisoner asked Speck why he killed the nurses. Speck shrugged and jokingly said, it just wasn't their night.
Great.
Yes.
And you're just not on the death penalty.
Yeah. So asked how he felt about it himself in the years since, he said, like I always felt, had no feeling. If you ask me if I feel sorry, no. He also described in detail the experience of strangling someone. It's not like TV. This is him quoting. It's not like TV. It takes over 3 minutes and you have to have a lot of strength. End quote. This man's a fucking sicko.
Oh, God. I need to go watch Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Portions of the tapes were later broadcast on the A&E Network's investigative reports. And I think Bill Curtis is part of that as well. And it looks a little bit older. So the same airing of the investigative reports include the interviews from people who believe that Speck was not taking hormones. So they think a lot of it was fake. And that he wasn't taking hormones, wasn't wearing ladies' underwear, like voluntarily. And that he instead was being forced by other inmates. And that may have been his way of surviving his time in the prison. So take it from like what you want.
Yeah, so like either way.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even matter.
So the tape, when you're watching it, like if you do choose to watch, it's super not obviously the best quality. It was done in 1988. And I'm sure like from a makeshift camera, either whether it was real or not. But he's sitting there like in half the what's it called? In half of the video essentially, and he's like, oh yeah, no, I like to suck whatever dude's wieners or what. I can't even say it. It feels gross.
Suck wieners.
Yes. And he's sitting there like with his shirt is off, and they just look like fake, weird boobs, like that he plastered on. It's so weird. They don't look real, so I can see why they're like those aren't real
hormonal
boobs.
breasts.
No, because it looked like it was like a giant, like it almost looked like a wax balloon almost, and like an areola like roundly put on the like it was very weird if you ever watch
areola.
It. So half of it his shirt's on, half of it shirt's off, and then like it has like a big like from the camera's like far away kind of, and you see like this big like line of cocaine. So it's just like, was it real? I don't know. So were they doing it just to like
were they just bored
dicking
in the
around
80s?
And they could have been just bored? I don't know. So anyway, so in December of 1991,
they were trying to get funding.
Yeah, he dies of a heart attack at 49. His autopsy did reveal an apparent gross anomalies in his brain. 2 areas of the brain: the hippocampus, which involves memory, and like a different other part which deals with the range and other strong emotions. And they were like encroached on like each other. And like those boundaries were blurred. So, and there really wasn't any further analysis with it because I guess they were taking tissue samples and they just got lost. So they just were like, well, I guess
we'll never know.
We're done.
Never care.
They're just
about
like,
what
he's dead. We don't care. And actually, his body actually was never claimed. Like they just had to like sprinkle his ashes somewhere, whatever. And because I think at that point his family was like, okay, he might have been a bad guy. And just didn't want to have any association with it, which I totally get it. And
even after all that of like fucking covering up his shit, they're like, well, we're not even gonna claim him. So
no, they didn't want to have anything to do with him because they actually were telling their children, do not tell anybody that you were Richard Speck's niece or nephew or whatever. And I can't imagine what his kid feels like.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking.
He has a daughter.
He's alive.
Yeah, she's alive. She's probably she's like my mom's age. Yeah,
that's so weird.
Which is very weird. So, his autopsy. Oh, I already said that. So the speculation remains that Speck's homicidal.
The
speculation remains that Speck's homicidal nature was due to like a combination of the brain abnormalities, the violence he suffered at the hands of his alcoholic stepfather, and his own drinking and violence when he was in Texas. The end.
Wow.
Story time is over. We talked a lot
Holy
tonight.
shit, we did.
Whoops.
Well, should we roll?
We probably should.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. We had a lot of information.
We had lots of things to tell and share this
Okay.
evening, and lots of songs to reminisce.
We did. There was a lot happening in 1999, and obviously in 1960 whatever.
Yeah, and there's a lot happening with Mr. fucking Speck.
Yeah, no shit. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to this episode. Again, I'm Bree. And that's your friend Shay that's not talking right now.
No, because I'm looking up the things in preparation instead of us going like, "What's number 4?"
I know. But anyways, thanks for listening. We love you. We are so glad that you're here with us.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us on Instagram, you should. If you don't, THURDYISH 30ish. If you do follow us, fucking tell your
awesome.
friends. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you like our fucking shit. We try to make you laugh and make you feel like a 30-something slash...
And also forget that you're a 30-something.
Yes. Also, I was thinking about it too, like, 30 is just a state of mind. Like, everyone talks about how their 30s are, like, their favorite decade of their whole lives. So it's like, it's just a fucking word that we made
true.
up. 30-ish.
Yeah.
What? Anyways, also, if you guys have any suggestions on topics that you want us to fucking talk about and rant about and joke about, let us know. DM us. Keep DMing us your 90s and 80s playlist faves, because I'm literally making the craziest playlist ever for our 30-ish times. And I think that's all for now. We love you. Let's roll. Let's roll the goddamn dice.
Roll the dice.
Shay.
Oh.
6.
I feel like that's history.
I think that is.
Nope, it's paranormal. Sweet.
Paranormal.
I'm excited.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Oh,
Does it count
No.
if it falls?
It's a 6, so no.
No.
It fell all the way down.
Nope.
It doesn't count.
Nope, it doesn't count. Go for
Okay,
it.
ready?
Yep, go for it. Shake it up.
3.
Cooking.
Yes!
Yes, you haven't had that in a while.
Oh my god, we haven't had food or cooking in forever.
No, that'll be
I've
nice
been
for
wanting
you.
to talk about food. It's summer.
Yes. So
Oh my god, yes.
That's your wish. All right, guys. Cooking
One
and
wish,
paranormal.
one wish. I don't know.
Food and ghosts.
Food and ghosts.
Yep.
Welp. Hope you liked our fucking nostalgia and fucked up crime.
It was good.
We love you. Thank you. We'll see you next week.